remember. I know we have each other's bodies. That's an illusion. So does that mean our voices are actually normal? Have I been doing the other voice for absolutely no reason at all?
No. It's not an illusion. You are physically transmogrified.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that makes me feel better about the voice choices I've made. Otherwise, I'm like, am I doing this for no reason?
I'm still curious if that is like at least on some level offensive to Artemis that, to Fox that Artemis is having to do this.
But see, I'm not doing it on purpose. This is just the voice. This is the closest I can do. If I could do a better voice, I would. I promise. This is simply the closest voice I can do.
Not trying to.
No, you can with a voice changer, right?
I don't have a. Well, Discord, mate. Does Discord have voice changers built in?
I don't think there's
No.
one. I have a separate one, but I.
That would be fucking cool.
I'm just teasing because people keep thinking Monk and I are the same person. So people keep teasing me about having a voice changer and wanting to know what it is. I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know.
Does he sound? Oh, okay, via voice changer. I was gonna say, does he sound super feminine? Because he didn't always sound
No, because he comes like, okay.
She's catfishing us, guys. She's catfishing us.
Oh my gosh.
She's going to wiener.
Wow, that is rude. Very rude. No, he keeps liking to come and press my push talk and saying extremely inappropriate things at extremely odd times. And people just think it's a voice they're teasing that they think it's a voice changer. So
Oh,
kind of a meme in 2 guilds now, so yeah.
I did not realize that this map went so far down to the right.
Yeah, it's big.
Oh, darn.
Yeah, and they're all over the place too. Like you guys,
Yeah.
in fact, actually, we'll see here right at the beginning. Of course, there's 2 that are about to run straight at Pogo's direction because he's the only visible one. So that was where we left off, though. Here's about what you guys are seeing for a quick EA. Oh, did I hit that button?
Those are some comically CGI'd werewolves.
So Ben will actually recognize it because of the A's. Yeah, that's from Dragon Age. That was from what year did that come out? 2008, 2009, maybe.
Dragon Age Origins?
Yeah, the first game. It was early 360 era. But that's.
I think I tried to play it once on a burned copy, and it was all glitchy, and I was like, well.
One of the ones I made for you?
Yeah, it was one of the few that didn't work right.
Yeah. Occasionally you'd get a bad disc, especially at that era.
Yeah.
They weren't.
Still worth it. I still have my 360. Still play with random old games every once in a while. Yeah.
Zach fucking ruined mine. Zach, he didn't mean to, of course, but you put it online when you weren't supposed to.
Oh, yeah. Did.
All right. So, where we left off, it is Pogo's turn. You guys are pretty surrounded. I put right in front of Ben, you'll see there's a body there. I just used the generic body, but that is the werewolf that Nora just... Okay.
Neat.
All right, it is Pogo's turn.
All right. Just kind of jumping into the thrill of it. Let's see. How far away am I from these beasties?
You know what? I'll go ahead and reveal the ones that are coming your direction. You can actually see them already. Just nobody else can really react that they're on their way out because they wouldn't know that they're there, but Pogo does.
Oh, shit!
They're under that canopy heading your direction.
Alright. Thank you. What might be good here?
Oh, sorry, Fox. I just saw your message there. The rolling actually was because you guys had a long rest. So at least so it seems like after a certain amount of time, which is basically every day, so every long rest or so.
That's what I was wondering when it was. I guess I worded it a bit oddly.
Yeah, you're fine. Just basically another 24 hours from the last time which you guys woke up. You've probably got another 8 or so hours until it'll be time for another roll, basically.
Okay.
Let's see. I gotta look up an item.
Sorry, Bob. It's going to be hard not to whistle to this one. This is a very catchy 8-bit tune.
Do. All right. I'm going to start. So I do not remember. I know Werewolf 3 over by them is still stunned. He's just looking at the sky doing nothing.
Yeah,
I think he's got like what? How many rounds has he been like this? A couple. So he's got like 4 rounds left.
Let's see. We'll show it on him. Actually, you guys can't see this. He's got 8 rounds left. So it's only
Okay, so it's only been like 2 rounds since he's alright. And then the one over by Serafina. Serafina's flying on the broom, and then Werewolf 6 hasn't been hurt yet, right? It's just still attacking.
It
trying to attack
left through the
Serafina.
air. It left through the air and smacked her and knocked her to the ground.
Alright.
So she's not up on the broom anymore. I think. Didn't it knock you down off the broom? Becky?
No, I thought it missed.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it missed. Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Okay, so it's down on the ground and she's 15.
It was funny because it would have been the 3rd time she got knocked off the broom, but it luckily
I
had.
remember that there was definitely 2 times that we talked about it. But, yeah.
All right. I am going to cast as my bonus action. How do I get this off now? Oh, I don't want to do that. I'm going to cast Spiritual Banjo as my bonus action.
Okay.
And I'm going to cast it next to Werewolf 21 in front of me. And it's also going to attack on that one to see if it hits.
And it hit.
Wow! Get it, Banjo!
A good hit too. So you seeing these two, they've only just kind of stirred and then stood up off of an elbow and start to kind of launch themselves toward you as you summon the banjo in front of him, which just blocks him across the face. That one seems vaguely distracted, and he looks up and snarls at you as the one behind him is preparing to leap past him and come towards you. Any actions?
I am going to first. Yes, actually, I'm going to go ahead and cast. It's a concentration. I'm already holding a concentration. That's the problem. Is I've got this other. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, hypnotic patterns of concentration. I don't want to let it go on that other werewolf. So I'm going to instead. I'm just going to go ahead and also cast Vicious Mockery on the same werewolf as my action.
Okay. As your bonus action?
As my normal action.
Okay, I gotcha. On 21 then?
On 21.
A little bit good on the square. He failed.
Alright. So, let's see. You...
Not a great hit, but you still got the disadvantage then.
Hey, you look like Scooby-Doo had a stroke. That's what I'm gonna yell at him.
In Artemis' voice?
You look like... I forgot already. You look like Scooby-Doo had a stroke! And I'm actually gonna use my turn to move to the far edge of this plank area up here.
You're still on that platform up.
I'm on the platform, and that will end my turn.
Alright. Direwolf 13, let's see, he is snarling and snapping, trying to get past the boxes here, but he can't get around his sibling. So he's going to climb up onto the box. I think similar, he's going to try to leap, but I don't know if he'll have enough. He won't. He jumps up through the air, trying to make it towards Artemis, or towards Sarah up in the room, but does not have enough movement to make it. So he just ends up jumping over the boxes and landing on the ground, kind of under where Sarah is. It is Artemis' turn.
I'm going to attack the one that's in front of me. Right here.
Which one? The one that's right next to you is still in trance.
He's just staring up at the sky.
Yeah, staring up at the sky, kind of wavering in place.
Okay.
You can't hit him if you feel like if you did, it would probably knock him out of that trance.
I'm trying to see what I can hit him with. I'll just hit this one. Over here.
Okay. Sai was harassing the one that is dead now. So Sai's not really down on the ground.
So, can I have her distract this guy here?
When it's her turn, she's coming up after. It's you and then something else, and then Sai and then Sai's turn.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I dropped it on him. Hang on.
Yeah, here, let me drop that off real quick.
Thank you.
There you go.
Okay. So I'm just gonna smack him with this. Oh,
I need
not
a,
really
need a
smack.
temporary mute button so that I can still whistle. Hey, nice. Good roll. That hits.
Get him! Fuck him up!
Yay!
And he is fleshy. So as soon as you send out this kind of corded, braided lash, and as soon as it kind of snaps over him, you see a kind of long pink tongue slip out of the end of it and wrap around its midsection, and then pull away. And you see where the flesh, where the pinkish tongue kind of pulls away at it, it just tears through the flesh, and does an extra, I think it's 1d4. So good roll the damage for that as well. You remember where it is?
No, I don't. It's not a D4. Hang on.
That was 6, yeah. If you, under your items, you'll see the section for braided green lash. And it'll say lash bite.
Oh, okay. Here.
You actually, normally you'd put that on first, but that's okay. Just go ahead and roll a d4. So the far right, kind of triangle one. The far right dice. The far right die. And the
Oh,
top one,
gotcha.
where your dice are. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so only another one, but he does have to make a DC 14 strength save. So under where it says braided green lash, click that save button, drag it over, and drop it on him on the map or on the combat tracker. He definitely failed. He got a 12 against your 14. So where it rips through his skin, he is immediately knocked to the ground, bleeding from the wound there. What is that? Disgusting. I don't think they did, Justin. I think it was just Sarah when she was knocked off of the or when she was hit by the first one that clawed her and knocked her off the broom over by the wall.
Got it.
Artemis took some damage too. She took 3, just not very much when she was knocked off. Because the two of them
Okay.
were at the same time.
I was looking at this, was like, wait, is something like I thought we all took some damage, but I apparently was wrong.
With Sarah and I think Sarah and Artemis were the only ones hit, and Artemis wasn't even hit. She just took some falling damage. Sarah fell and was slashed and bleeding, and then she
Got
got a little bit. But he is knocked prone, Fox. So grab prone. That was terrible 10. Here we go. Any bonus? I guess you just use your whip. So any bonus actions?
How about I hurt early?
You have 3 hit points of damage.
There's a cool button in the top right-hand corner with the 2 people on it. Brings up party sheet, shows everyone's basic, like what they are.
Oh,
Which is
gotcha.
super handy.
Yeah, it's just like I don't have enough room on my screen for all this.
No, it's true.
I
And
mean-
then that screen, that doesn't let you like change the size of it. It's like
Yeah,
you
but,
get a half a page. That's what you get,
if you were, you can. Anyways, you can click it just to bring it up.
and then close
Where
it.
stuff is at, and then click it again to close it.
Okay, let me find my healing spirit. I think I have so many skills right now. It's hard to find them.
Healing Spirit is a bonus action to cast.
Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna cast that.
Okay. It
Is there
is
a way you could
something
add the token to my sheet so I could just?
There isn't any way for you to have the token on your sheet. You mean this? Like when I just dropped on the map next to
Yeah.
you? Yeah, there isn't any way for you guys to have the tokens themselves.
Okay, I'm gonna put it right here, and then I'm gonna move it to Sarah later.
Is Nork hurt? Yeah, Nork took a tiny bit. Basically, all of you have a tiny bit of damage. Sarah's the only one that's actually half of her health is gone. All right.
Oh,
so as a
okay.
bonus action,
So I'm
cast
gonna
your-
put it near her instead. If most of her health's
Okay.
gone. Yeah. Okay.
It's
Does
still
that
within range.
does that heal bad guys too, or just good guys?
Any creature that starts their turn
Oh
touching.
Jesus!
Yeah, but she put it on the opposite side of Sarah, so. And if they don't necessarily know, they're not going to try to touch a glowing
For all
creature.
they know, that'll fuck them up.
Is it in the air?
Stupid werewolf.
Oh, well, I mean, she has room enough to be able to cast it up in the air, so presumably she put it touching you up in the air, then Fox, is that what you did?
Yeah.
That does drop your pass without trace, because healing spirit concentration. You're okay with that?
Yeah, because we're in here. They're fighting us. They know we're here. You know, the cat's out of the bag, as they say.
Let's pass without trace.
Sorry, I was
Right.
just answering your question.
You're fine. Alright. That it for your turn then?
Yes.
Alright. The wolf that you whipped stands himself back up. You see just kind of gouts of blood falling out from his midsection where the whip ripped him open. He is immediately going to lunge over aside, trying to reach you. Since you just kind of flashed at him, he's going to be kind of over that corpse. That corpse is actually, as big as it is, that's kind of the reason I put the corpse there, is because there's not really enough room for him to stay there, but he's going to try to leap at you and try to push you backwards. So I'm going to set him off to the side just for now. So basically, he's in that same square with that corpse in front of you. With his leap. Oh shit! Sorry, he was not prone anymore. He stood up, which was yeah, he just barely have enough for that. But he got a 10 and 11, which still misses. So he ends up missing you. You kind of duck, and he sails over your head and rolls into the dirt, not making his landing. He basically collapses into the dirt behind you, prone again from missing his landing and not able to make it. Stuck behind you. It is Ice turn.
Don't let him mess up my pretty face!
Okay, so she's gonna distract the one behind me. So who's turn? Norik's next. I'm gonna put that on.
That order is, yeah, I guess it is right. Okay, so it's correct for you guys. Obviously, you can't see the NPCs in their turn. She's distracting the wolf behind you?
Yep.
Alright. She has Werewolf 3 targeted. Is that intentional?
No. There we go. It's off.
Okay. Alright, is that it for her turn then?
Yep.
Alright. It is Werewolf 3's turn. He is still standing there, hypnotically staring up. He doesn't get to roll against it. So he's basically...
Fuck you, werewolf! Fuck
so,
you!
Snap them out of it, if anything. The werewolf that Fogo clubbed in the head with the banjo and then mocked snarls angrily and is rushing his way 30 feet. So 30 feet towards Fogo. Oh, just barely.
Oh, shit!
Actually, because of the height, I would say, because he's only got a 5-foot range, I don't think he can actually get to you all the way. He is going to spend his turn, spend his action rather, to dash, and I'm just going to have him jump and try to attempt to jump on the framing next to you. Make the jump. He got a 4. He rolled a 3 plus 1 for a 4. Jumps up and gets one of his rear claws on the framing next to you. You feel the board almost snap. And then he
Kick him! Kick him!
He's also knocked prone, where he falls back down to the spot below. That is it for his turn. It is Norik's turn. Okay. So there's a corpse of a werewolf in front of you.
I've got a question. If it came within melee range of me and then fell out of melee range, would I get an opportunity attack as a reaction?
Yeah, I'd say, I guess so. I mean, it kind of did. It basically jumped up there in range of you. He wouldn't have been able to attack, but you would still have been able to. So, yeah, go ahead.
Alright. God, it's so rare that I actually attack.
Yeah, especially melee. And you don't have Warcaster, so all you can do is melee.
No, this is just a normal
Yeah,
weak lip. Uh-oh. What happened there?
What?
There may be some unforeseen consequences of
your driver update?
Of my driver update. That's the hit.
That hits. You dropped a 2.
And
because he's prone. Technically, I'm going to leave it anyway. It's fine.
All right,
he wasn't prone when you poked at him. He was prone when he fell. But, he was still off balance.
Oh, shit! Max roll! As he's jumping up, I'm just going to hit him with my rapier, stabbing downwards.
Where his foot that was pushing into the board and flipped off, you kind of poke him into the leg and the knee, basically. And he slips off to the side, falling to the dirt below. Go ahead, G. Actually, hang on, G. You have that. It wouldn't be on you. That was against Direwolf 10. So this. All right, go ahead. Okay. All right. You're gonna Great Weapon Master.
Yep. See if I can...
hang on. So that means you're not using your shield then, right? Meaning you're going two-handed.
Yeah.
Alright, then it's on two-handed. Your AC is 14 when you're shield.
Okay. Now, did that change? Because before you said that shield was so small, it just didn't have to be on or off. So.
Okay. If I did, never mind then. It is a buckler. I think we typically. Oh, that's right. It's supposed to be 2.
Because I'm so big.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
I only made it.
But again, if you want to change that, you can. So.
No, you're fine.
But,
normally it would be 2. Yeah, I forgot that we talked about that. Normally a shield would be an AC 2, but it's only 1 because it's too small for you. So it's kind of distracting your arm. So your AC is 5. Okay. That misses. Fox, did you roll the heal for Sarah?
Oh no, I forgot. I'm sorry.
No problem. It's her turn next anyway, so it'll be coming up.
Ooh, shit. Oh, that was
that
hero
hits.
one.
Okay, no.
Yeah.
That's still a good heal.
Okay.
Was that great, Gwen? Yeah, that was 2? Yeah, it was. Okay.
Yeah.
I just remembered I was boiling water to make tea, and then the game started, and I completely.
See, okay, so
Uh-oh.
now you guys understand. That's what happens to me all the time. That's not when game starts. That's every day if I try to boil water. I'll fucking boil the pan until it's blackened and smoking with no water in it.
No, the water's in it because I did it through boiler or duct is what you call it. So you just like put it in, plug it in, and then it turns off.
Oh, okay.
Electric kettle is what Monk's calling it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll put water in a pan if I'm going to boil something for like cooking noodles or something, and then I'll forget that it's there. The water will boil away until it's gone, and then the pan starts, and then my fire alarm goes off.
Ouch. Okay, so you can burn water. You just burn the pan.
I wasn't kidding. That happened to Justin's house too.
Okay, this is why. Never mind.
All right, Sarah's turn.
I just marked off my second level thing I forgot to earlier, so I marked it off.
Okay.
I don't know if that shows up on your side. I just.
Yeah, I can. I wasn't looking at your spell box, but yeah, I can
Yeah.
see all your. I'll show you what it looks like on my end if you want to see it.
Oh, that's okay. I'd like to let you know that I'm marking them off as I'm using them.
Sure.
Okay,
Which
so
one,
I
Becky?
don't remember how far up I was.
You were 12 feet, I think it's said.
Okay. And they're how tall?
8 feet. Their faces are like Norok's face level, so about 7.5 feet. They vary a little bit. They're not all the exact same size.
So I'm within their melee range then.
Not when he's on the ground. His arms can't reach quite that high, which is why that one climbed to the barrel to try to jump up at you.
Okay. Then I'm gonna go up another 5 feet and then use Dragon's Breath on the 2 that are below me.
Okay. That's literally 1 foot below your threshold of when you start to get scared.
Yeah.
So it was a good math on there. On which one?
Both of them. Because it's a
Okay.
15 foot jump.
They both failed. They got a 4 and a 7.
And
Ooh, what does that
think I
spell
was-
do?
I think it was
Right.
acid damage.
We did acid last time, yeah.
That's
Oh!
awful.
Yeah, pretty low rolls. But in fact, the last one was a really awful roll too for the damage. Acid is not your friend. But you spew out a cone of acid that then blankets each of them. Their fur beginning to kind of burn away, and because you're above them, you're kind of just inundated with the smell of burning fur. Not a pleasant smell for sure. If that's your cone, yeah. So would you double click on the map for me, Becky? Left and right click together. Anywhere on the map is fine. There you go. Thank you. Any bonus action?
Not right now, but I am moving behind Nora a little bit.
Okay. So he's below you, but you're flying 10 feet above his head.
Yeah, I'm still same height, just behind him.
Okay.
A little bit.
Then it is the other werewolf behind the canopy that had seen Pogo, sees that his compatriot has already gone after Pogo, is going to tear past the Banjo, which does not get opportunity attacks, but come around the corner. 5. He can make it to about here, so he's going to have to dash as well. So he's going to spend his action to dash to reach his way up to Norok, and he's close enough now that he will. He does not have a bonus action; he has multi-attack. All right, so never mind. He's going to get within melee range of Norok, and that'll be his turn. Werewolf 6, who is in front of Norok and was just covered in acid, is going to That hits. Second claw misses. So the first raking claw just slashes across your hip and your thigh, G. You take half damage from that, but you instantly see blood just pouring out of the wound. You are suffering the bleeding lacerations now as well. That is effect is on you. That is it for his turn. It comes back around. It is Werewolf 1. Now with some space finally here, is going to, seeing his brethren is already kind of surrounding Arteme, is going to same. Yeah, I can make it. So he will rush his way up and try to similarly leap at Arteme. Trying to push her over. Ooh, natural 20.
Oh no!
You see that this direwolf just leaping through the air, kind of both claws aiming at your shoulders. Arteme pushes you down to the ground and immediately is going to try to take a bite out of your face. 4d6 with 16 damage. Your concentration falls. What was the spell you had up? Healing Spirit. Yeah. So healing Spirit. Your concentration shaken by the nasty bite over your neck. Rips out well, you're already prone, so that wouldn't matter. Actually, we're knocking you down, but pushed you over and made you drop your concentration with a significant bite. It is Fogo's turn.
All right. I'm going to start. Let's see. I'm going to. If I ran. Oh no! Fuck it! I'm just gonna attack him. This werewolf that's down on the ground. He's still prone. So I have disadvantage on spells like attack, range spells, right?
Yeah, any kind of a ranged attack, yes.
All right. In that case, I will instead. How hurt does he look? Does he look hurt at all?
That is 21. 21 is a little bit.
Oh crap!
Not a whole lot.
I'm gonna just move my banjo up, and I'm going to attack him. Oops, that's not right. There we go. I'm gonna attack him with my banjo.
Okay. That hits.
Why is that rolling 2 dice? Oh no, just
because he's prone.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, and it's a melee attack.
Take that!
That's a good attack. Banjo
You know
just bashing at him as he's laying on the ground.
I don't have a lot I can. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery again.
All right.
Let me undo that. There we go.
He succeeded. He got a 19.
Oh! This time! You got it this time, you big bastard!
That's the first failed save, I think, that they've had, or first success on their end.
Alright. So, as far as my movement, if I run fast on the gangplank, on this, you know what? No, I'm gonna stay right.
You feel like he's probably too low to be able to get a decent attack at you.
Yeah.
He hasn't stood up yet.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna stay right where I'm at. I'm gonna hang out, and that'll be it. I've still got that other one on the other side, at least. Not doing much. I'm helping a little bit over there for those guys.
The other direwolf that is near is going to leap, seeing that the ripped open wound that's bleeding out of Norok's hip, is going to try to leap over and bite at that. Norok, you are surrounded now, so he's going to have +2. He's got somebody directly on the other side of him. Because you are flanked. For a 24, which does hit. Or a 2d6 +3, halved, of course, because he rolled really shitty. But he is going to try to pull you down. Go make a strength save, G. You have to beat a 13. He's latched onto your hip, trying to pull you off to the side, trying to pull you over. Well, with advantage. You got a 12 with advantage, which means you still did not succeed. You're not pulled, face flat, but you are pulled down to your knee, down to your right knee, which is still just pouring blood out of it. You're considered prone to stand back up. Arteme's turn.
Hey guys, I'll be right back. My dog's gonna give me something. I'll be back.
Right.
I feel a tiny bit surrounded here.
Yeah, you're a bit surrounded. and you are prone to get knocked down. So you need to stand up first. We'll take after movement.
Alright, I'm gonna try and stand up.
I'll take the prone off for you. Go ahead.
How do I just make a circle?
Circle is alt. It is control. So hold down control, and then there you go. Is the music too loud, everybody, or is it good?
It's a tiny bit loud, and I turned it down a tiny bit by a couple notches.
Let me figure. I'll turn it down on my side. Get back to normal. So you can hear everybody else. There we go. Is that better?
Yeah.
What's me looking at?
I'm looking at that because I'm trying to figure out if one of my skills would just have to be two.
Which one?
Air up Earth, which would hit me. Okay.
Yeah, you're inside. If you're casting it right there, it would also would throw you off too.
Oh, okay. So I'm just not gonna get up. I'm just gonna throw this first and then go from there.
So that it doesn't knock you over.
Yeah.
If you're already prone. Okay. That was okay. So he rolled a natural 1. That's good.
Oh, I'd have to cast it on each of them individually.
Yeah. So target Direwolf 10 and Direwolf 3 as well.
Get him!
Needed. If you did all 3 of them at the same, okay, it's gonna
Just
knock.
ignore those two. Just ignore them. There we go. So now that's all.
Okay, all right. Then in that case, it is Werewolf 3 failed, so he will be knocked over. Werewolf 10 got a 19, so he succeeded, and Direwolf 1 got a 10, he failed.
Okay.
And you
So
failed.
what do you do?
So basically, they all failed except for Direwolf 10, who succeeded. So erupting earth. Choose a point you can see on the ground within range. A fountain of churned earth and stone erupts in a 20-foot cube centered on that point.
Ooh.
It would be a cube, not a sphere or a circle, but that's still fine. With the deck save, takes bludgeoning on a fail or half a
Get it!
success. Additionally, the ground in the area becomes difficult terrain until cleared. Each 5-foot square portion of the area requires at least 1 minute to clear by the end. Okay. So let me see if I have an effect for erupting earth, because that area will be destroyed for now. I do. Cool. It is a 20-foot cube.
Ooh, neat!
And it covers this whole area. So Foxure, that because you guys would be on top of it. Were you trying to leap off of it or anything, or get away from it?
Yeah, I would try and use that to leap up, over.
Okay. They are.
Here if possible.
The Direwolf 10 is the only one that was not knocked prone. He is going to try to bite you as you're trying to jump away from it.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to put it in the middle, and then. Okay, cool. I was curious if it would let me put these guys on top. It does. Oh, you're trying to move side. Okay.
Sorry. And I'm also trying to get rid of my circle, but it's not letting me get rid of it.
Just double click together. Just double click, or sorry, left and right click anywhere on the map, and it'll get rid of it.
Nope, not getting rid of it.
For you.
Thank you.
No problem. There we go. All right, so that area, it's actually slightly larger. Those guys are all thrown off. Direwolf 10 fell off the side of it, landed on his feet. But he is going to try to bite at you as you're jumping away from him. For a 13, which still hits.
Okay.
For 9 damage.
What's your AC? 13 hits? What's my AC?
Her AC is 13.
Oh, okay. Mine.
Which, by the way, Becky, if you wanted to, not that you would do this every day or anything else, but basically you can put mage armor on other people. If you casted it on her, at any given time, her AC would be 15 instead of 13, just for the mage armor.
Okay, yeah, we had done that once.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't get your special effect one, but she can get the regular one. But Direwolf 1 As you guys, Sarah this erupts up basically up 20 feet, so it actually comes above your own head as this kind of pillar of just turning earth blows up all around you. You do notice that there's bits of red coral mixed in with it, it seems like. But one of the direwolves falls off the side. This one over here falls off the side, landing at the bottom, and there's a slight dip as it hits the ground and the sound of bone crunching, and it does not move. That one's dead. One of the others left off the side. It is not underneath it. And Werewolf 3, who had been entranced, is now on top of this 20-foot block up in the middle of up in the air there. Not entranced anymore, but seems like the churning has hurt him quite a bit.
At least he's stuck 20 feet up on a block.
I mean, he can jump down, but he is, I mean, it did bloody him out of a single hit. Bloodied him. He was, basically more than half of his health is now. So it's still a very good hit. Okay, then it's for Arteme.
Yes, because I used healing word to heal myself a bit.
Oh, okay. Oh shit, you are pretty messed up. 38 out of 55. Okay, I didn't see it.
Don't worry, there's only like 400 more.
The one on the ground, Fox, that bit you as you were running away is going to rush around this new pillar and try to lash out at you again. This is the one that Sai was distracting, so anybody that's trying to hit this one will have advantage still, until actually her turn's coming up next, so I guess it won't matter at this point. Tries to bite at you, still hits. Another 2d8 for 12 damage to Fox, or to Arteme. It is Sai's turn.
I think she's gonna try and help Nora over here by distracting these guys.
Okay. You guys see this white flash just snake between the legs and underneath Norak's legs, and then around behind this other werewolf to try to distract him as best as possible. Is that it for her turn?
I'm gonna put the distract on Nora.
You will for when. Well, you would. Hang on. You put it on him before he makes his next attack, or before the next attack against Werewolf 6. Then you drop it on whoever is making the attack.
Good.
Norak, you do see Sai is harassing, biting at the tail and trying to yank at it of the werewolf that is standing directly in front of you. Werewolf 3 up on the block here is going to really need to make token layering a thing. You can do it with an extension, like an add-on basically for it, but that add-on causes other issues, so I don't use it. But I'll leave that there. He rushes towards the edge and is going to leap down. There really isn't space for. I guess he's going to try to leap over and see if he can make. You know what? He's going to try to smack Sarah out of the air because she's on his way down, basically. So,
that's some distance.
Well, I mean, he's
that's
just
like
from the
15, edge. That's like 15 feet away. Oh, I guess it's if it's about the same height, it's not too bad.
It's up 20 feet. She's up 17 feet. So he's on.
Oh,
she's on
God.
And he's basically just falling with his claw in the air, just trying to whack at her. So I'd say that it's disadvantaged because it's a really odd, tricky shot for him to try to claw at her in the air. Natural 1. So with a it's just an automatic miss, no special effect for it. As he hits the ground, kind of smashing into like his jaw smashing into his crashing into it, so we don't get his extra attack. 21 that is in front of Pogo here is just going to move his way up to the shelf and just try to claw like at your feet basically. Like really, he can pretty much hit the entire midsection, but he's going to make both swings against Pogo. Oh, hang on. Well, even with disadvantage, that still hits. He's not prone anymore because he stood up from them. So that one hits. Second attack.
Oh, cutting words! He was cutting words on him.
Okay. Well, he got a natural 1 on the second one. So
damn it! Wait, do I? I think I have to say it before I know whether or not it hits, though.
Okay.
Let me check. You choose these feet after the creature makes it roll, but before it determines the attack roll. So I'm still going to use it as my reaction, and burn a mark of inspiration. It's right. Only fair. Fair.
Hang on. You used your reaction to.
Was that on this one or the last one?
That might have been your previous turn. That was your previous turn because it was before he. Yeah. Okay, so this is your reaction to it. I always forget.
Right before. So I think I'm right after this one, or very close after this one.
No, you're a ways off actually, but it was right after your previous turn, or this guy's previous turn. Which this is the guy
on the bright side, I don't have to worry about my concentration anymore.
Well, he hit you. We'll see if he did enough damage to.
Oh no, it doesn't matter. The only thing that was being, I dropped the spell as soon as the guy woke up. It was the only one being
gotcha.
affected by it.
For your hypnotic trance.
Yeah.
Or hypnotic pattern. Did you use 2 usages of your bardic inspiration? It's only 1.
Nope, I've used 2 now. I used 1 earlier to do something for somebody. I
Okay.
think I gave Norok bardic inspiration for stealth earlier, so like if you ran into trouble.
You just hadn't marked it off yet.
Well, I just used it, my second one now.
It shows that to me. It shows that you clicked it twice.
I just now clicked it off and on when we were talking.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got you. Okay.
Yeah,
All
so
right,
like, boop, 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 boop.
Yeah, it looks the same on my side. It just looks like whether you're unchecking or checking. All right, Buddy hit with 1 claw. Second claw misses, but the oops, I did not mean to click that. There we go. As the claws slash into you, you actually would have retained concentration. You succeeded on the attack for that, but it is 10 damage and leaves a bleeding laceration just across your chest, just pouring into your opulent, ridiculous clothing.
Stupid dog.
Stupid
dog!
You see a silver furred. In fact, let me behave with this. A silver furred, kind of moderately sized werewolf coming out of the tents at the back there and kind of slowly walking this direction. He doesn't look like he's in any hurry. Just bipedally, up on 2 feet, walking towards the fight over there. It is your turn. From the bleeding, you take an extra 9 damage, G.
Okay.
You are pretty badly surrounded. Sarah's kind of buzzing like a bee over your head. Artemis behind you. Sai is harassing the werewolf that is directly in front of you, number 6.
Right.
And both you and Sarah, and Pogo to a lesser extent, can see this silver-furred werewolf that is like slowly walking towards you.
See if I can get number 6 again.
Misses. Why did you have disadvantage on that? Hang on. Who were you trying to hit?
I thought I should have had advantage. I was trying to hit 6.
Oh, it's because the psi thing's all broken.
Ah,
It's no, because you still had
Oh,
prone. No, you were still prone. So are you standing back? You were pulled down.
Oh. yeah, I forgot about that. Yes.
All right. Well, you dropped a 7, so 7 plus 4. You still would not have hit anyways. But actually, hang on. You should have had advantage because Sai is harassing him. So roll it one more time. Just one regular roll.
Sorry, there we go.
Well, now it would be. Hang on, I got to take that off.
Oh, sorry. That was
Because-
my
no, you're
fault.
fine,
I
you're
forgot
fine,
to put it on.
You
Everyone
would've
click
had-
everything right now!
It still would have
Ready
been.
to
Yeah, go ahead now. Still misses.
Jesus.
After all that,
Cheesy
Ben's not rolling
penis.
good today. Last time he 2-shot one of these guys, so I mean he did good for the end of the last session. There you go, that hits. This is against number 6. Yeah. He's pretty. He's more than bloodied. So. Oh, shit.
Yeah! I'm gonna see
you
that. I'm gonna
see-
scream at him from across. Where'd you go?
Norok, you see Sai grab onto the tail, just a white flash, bite into the tail, and as the werewolf kind of turns its head around, trying to swing its tail off to the side to throw Sai off of him, it exposes his neck kind of accidentally, and you just cleave down into it with your axe, separating most of the neck and the head from the body, and he kind of slumps forward with blood pouring out at your heels.
Alright, for a bonus, can I use my inspiration to rejuvenate?
That's
that's-
a free action, I think, isn't it? Unless you is rejuvenate.
I think it said a bonus action, but I didn't do a bonus this round. So.
Oh, as a bonus action, yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead and mark off your inspiration as well.
Cool.
That's a lot better.
Alright.
Rolled well too.
And then that takes out the bleeding, right?
Yeah, actually.
Okay.
Here we go. It is Sarah's turn.
Alright, so I'm just gonna whip around and do the exact same thing to these two guys.
All right.
So
Sorry.
They make that
Like
joke.
he's really bad at breakdancing.
It kind of does look like especially when I start to spin him. Yeah, exactly. They both failed, Sarah. Got a 13 on a 3.
Whoa!
That's a little bit better.
Oh.
So much damage!
It killed both of them. So 3 was the one that the erupting earth had really fucked up. It's the one that had been hypnotic patterned already. But you spin around and spew out a cone of acid around the 2 of them, and both just kind of begin to melt in place. You see the acid is burned down to bone in some places, and they're both just kind of twitching and not moving very much, but just twitching slightly as they collapse to the ground, not moving.
I'm just gonna whip back around and just keep an eye on that silver one that's walking our way.
Okay. All right. 17 is still has a +2 because he is directly in front of Norok. Is going to try to swing a claw and a bite. The claw hits, which tears open another bleeding wound on Norok's left shoulder. Before you just cleave into the other. What's that?
Never mind. I was gonna ask if Norak is raging, but I realized I can just check up here.
Yeah, he's raging. His bite, though, he tries to lean forward and just rip into the open wound that he just torn open and misses with his bite. Is it for his turn? It is Fogo's turn.
I am.
Actually, now that it's you still, you
Actually,
were bleeding, so you took damage.
Is it Werewolf 21's turn or is it?
No, it's your
My
turn.
turn? Okay.
Yeah, it's your turn, but you took full damage from the bleed, which is 12 damage. You still retain concentration. You hadn't taken the hypnotic off. There you go.
Yeah.
So, but you do see 2 more, 2 more werewolves and another wolf that have come out from the camp behind you, heading this direction.
Coming out from where?
It's not behind you. To the for you would be forward and on the left. See
Okay.
that kind of squared in area?
Sure.
You'll see him in a second.
All right. Oh, there's more of them, guys. There's more of them. So, I'm gonna go ahead and move my banjo, and I'm going to.
Oops.
I'm going to attack again with my spiritual banjo as my bonus action. Does 15 hit?
That you have him targeted? I think 15 does hit. Who are you trying to hit?
Werewolf 21.
Right, you didn't have him targeted, so
Oh, crap.
You're fine. It is AC is 15, so it does hit.
Okay. Alright, well. Is he targeted now?
No. Don't do it again.
Alright, I'll just target him with
There you go.
myself as
No,
opposed
he's
to. And. Spiritual banjo! No, come on!
Minimum damage.
Okay, I'm going to
Good shot.
clutch. I'm going to clutch my lithic magical rock.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast Guiding Bolt at level 1 on him.
All right.
That'll definitely hit.
That does hit.
And damage! Fuck yeah!
That's a good amount.
And
So
I get.
you're holding it, right?
Yeah, I'm holding it.
Right.
And then, does that, since it's, is it magical healing to where it closes my wounds?
It is healing. Any kind of healing would work. So
Alright.
you are no longer bleeding. You feel those stitched together as you when you throw out the guiding bolt. This kind of explosive, radiant energy surrounds him. He is also, I think, anything that hits him for the next, like, put the effect on him. I think it's advantage on any hits against
Oh,
him.
yeah.
And you feel the energy where the glowing radius is surrounding him. You see this kind of reddish stream pulling towards you and back towards the stone in your pocket as your wounds begin to stitch together.
How is he not dead yet?
He is, let's see, as far as damage to him, I didn't actually look at the, oh shit. He is barely holding on. He's almost like on death's door for sure.
Alright, I'm just gonna hang out and wait till I can kill this one fucking guy.
You guys are doing a lot better than I thought you would. I figured you would have been either run or something by now. All right, 13 is directly across. Similarly, from Norok is going to also try to bite him and pull him down again. 22, since that hits. G, give me a strength save again. You got to beat a 13.
He's coming.
Okay. Was he walking your guys' werewolves?
No, he's washing his hands.
Definitely saves, so he does not have a trouble there. Artemis' turn. There are two bodies behind you that Sarah just spit acid over. The werewolf that had left down behind you, and the dog that was next to him. What you doing?
There's 3 more coming from this side, guys!
Yeah, they can't see them yet. So Pogo shouts to you that there are 3 more coming.
Right. I'm gonna use healing word on myself.
Okay. Oh yeah, you were 5 hit points from going down. And you rolled a natural.
Of course. Okay.
No, that was your bonus action.
Long. Yeah.
Yeah, that is long. It hits. Which one is that? 17? Oh shit. Okay. Well, it's a 1 again, but it is a flesh creature again. So go ahead and this is underneath Sarah, by the way. She's still 17 feet in the air, so she's quite a bit above you. But you whip out with your braided green lash, and the tongue similarly wraps around its waist and then yanks away, pulling the skin away. Go ahead and roll the. Normally you would use that before you roll the damage box. I can change that to make it so you would put it on afterwards. But for now, just go ahead and roll a d4 again. It's under your item section in your actions tab. Okay, another 2 damage. And he has to make a strength save.
Can you put down the weapon so I know to just put it on instead
You
of
can't
having
put. There isn't any way to put effects like that under there. That's why I have it kind of separated. But I can actually make the way that Shillelagh works for you. I can do. He succeeded. I'll put that in my notes. Actually, change that for next week.
Thank you. It's just because having to scroll down halfway through my list to find something to remember to put something is not something I'll remember.
Sure. What I'll do then is I'll just make your braided green lash work the way that Shillelagh does, where your attack and damage for it will all be under the same place.
That would be amazing.
Here, so I don't forget.
I don't mean to complicate things.
Oh, you're fine. It makes more sense anyways. Fantasy Realms is complicated enough as it is. All right. So you tried to pull him down with the or pull forward in your direction anyways with the braided green lash, but he shrugs it off, but still has just a bleeding ring around his midsection where the tore him open. That was your action and bonus action. So any movement?
I'm gonna move back. Do any of them have an opportunity attack?
No. There's nobody in range of you that can hit you.
Yay!
All right. It is Sai's turn. The one she was harassing, she was latched onto the tail of, and Nora cleaved its head open. So she just kind of falls back to the ground and is now yipping around. Okay. All right. Then it is Werewolf 10's turn. This is the one that Pogo just saw coming out. He snarls in Pogo's direction and is going to run that direction.
No!
He's going to have to dash because he can't get any further. So the furthest he can make it is here. He can just barely get into range, but not enough to actually attack. He's still on the ground. Right there.
Oh, I'm gonna be in trouble!
18, it's his turn. That's the other one that just came out. Similarly, seeing that the little halfling is already surrounded, but seeing that his siblings are fighting over here, or his family, I guess, is going to come this direction, but that's as far as he can make it. 12 and 9 now. They all rolled 11, 10, and 9 for their initiative.
That simplifies
it's
things.
50 feet, though. That's good. Okay, so
This, by the way, the initiative tracker, by far, in my opinion, the best thing about the digital version than the normal
that's what.
game.
So
When there's a bunch of bad guys,
yeah,
so much easier.
That's what I was telling you about the combat tracker, though. Even if you didn't use like the hit points or anything else from the D&D Beyond one, the initiative tracker would automatically roll initiative for all your mobs for you and put us in order. so you could put all the players in there and everything, and then you could just do on paper the HP and everything if you wanted to.
Yeah, I'm gonna try, especially if I have ones where it's like multiple bad guys.
Yeah, it gets very complicated. I don't think I would. I probably wouldn't design encounters with a ton of bad guys if I had to do it on paper.
Yeah.
And the amount of paperwork that it would take to do. Okay, 21 in front of Pogo.
Oh, fuck off!
You're not in that bad of shape yet, but you probably will after this. So let's see. He's going to try to rake at you with his claws and then grab onto your ankle and then try to.
Cutting words again!
Well, he got another natural one.
Fuck!
That's funny. Still is going to try to bite at you, so you're welcome to try your cutting words on the second one.
No, that's a reaction, so I only get one.
Oh, that's true, yeah. Well, he missed with his bite, too. He got a 6 12. And his
Fuck
first
you, you...
one.
Yeah, ugly mutt!
Well, I mean, he is just beat to shit. I mean, he's almost dead. He's got 2 hit points left. So, no wonder that he's not very successful. But is now that it's, that turn has ended, you hear a bestial shout in a language that only anybody look at your languages. Does anybody
Pretty
speak?
sure I only speak Common and Halfling.
Yeah, Wemmick.
Nah, or well, I think it just is Halfling.
It's Wemmick. That's Halfling and Surface
You're
Wars.
Wimmick. I don't
You're
even know
Wemmick.
where that is. This is like
It's at the bottom of your abilities tab.
Yeah, Common and Halfling. Wemmick.
I don't think the internal language thing would work, but Arteme, you recognize. I mean, it's going to be pretty simple. So I'll just whisper to Arteme here real quick. Shouted in the Moon Elves language, the Monodoran Elves. That's shouted from the south. It's coming from the silver-furred werewolf that just walked out of the camp. And all of you see the others immediately just pause instantly, like their claws kind of go down at their sides, and they look like they're shrinking away slightly. They look scared almost, but still rabidly alert and still ready to fight. Like if Norak were to swing at one of them, their claws are still kind of ready to react, but not. They look like they're almost scared all of a sudden. The one that was approaching makes his way up around these boxes here and shouts, points at Arteme. So Arteme, you're over by the fence there. You kind of see.
I'm gonna real quick whisper in my stone. Pineapple! Are we still killing these fucking things? What are we doing? Pineapple! I repeat, pineapple!
You all hear Pogo panically shouting in your stone because he's surrounded by 2 very scary werewolves. But the one that was approaching there, I mean, you hear that, but you don't really have too much time to react. You can probably say something quickly, like 1 or 2 words.
I'm just gonna say it yelled stop, and that's it.
Then the shouter, the one that was approaching, the silver-furred werewolf, I don't know why I can't talk today, points at Arteme, and his snout kind of lifts upward, and he's sniffing the air like aggressively. And he switches to Indian, he switches to Common. He says, "I can smell through your ruse, deceiver. You are Isoquendai," which is the word for moon elf. And he turns to the rest of his group, of his pack here. He's the rest of you rather. So like kind of looks towards Sarah floating in the air there, and Norak. He can't probably see Pogo where he's at. He says, "Are you under her command?"
Not exactly.
And I'm gonna crouch down so he doesn't fucking see me.
Okay. Norak. He looks at you. You're muted, G.
No, I'm gonna say no. We're not.
He shouts, just obviously furious. He shouts, kind of roaring shouts. "Why do you attack us? We seek only to live in peace."
I whisper into the thing. Tell him it's complicated.
Was it pineapple? Tell him it's complicated.
Pineapple. Tell him it's complicated. Pineapple.
Pineapple isn't bookends. You don't have to the beginning and the end.
Over.
I guess I'll tell him it's complicated.
He stands up, looks very angry, and he gesturing to his pack, to the other werewolves. He says, "Kill her," pointing at Arteme. "Disarm the others and bring them to my tent." And then he turns as if he's about to leave to go back to his tent.
That's not gonna work.
You see 18 werewolves, 18 and
Are
17.
we still in? Wait, what'd you say?
Werewolves 18 and 17 both are turned to move towards Arteme.
Well, we're still in combat order, right? Are we out of combat?
It's still in combat order. It's Norak's
Okay.
turn.
Ah!
Norak, you're still bleeding. You took another 11 bleeding damage. What are you doing?
I'm just gonna say, because it's too late now anyway. I'm just gonna say we were sent by someone.
Peace was
No one with us,
We were sent by someone. What, G?
and they're not with us. It's not anybody that's UC.
The
Talking
silver.
to the silver one.
Okay. He stops. He'd already turned and started to walk back to his tent. He stops and kind of turns to look back at you. Roll a persuasion check.
Okay.
Anybody? Pogo, you have things to help with that if you are capable and interested in helping him.
I can give you bardic inspiration. So, well, I mean, can I outside of combat? Am I gonna do that?
Yeah, it's.
Okay.
I mean, right now we're temporarily pausing.
Okay.
Potentially temporarily pausing initiative order. So
I'm
you
gonna
could
go ahead
over
and I'm
the
just gonna
stone, you
scream.
could pineapple.
I'm gonna throw the stone and I'll be like, "Listen, Norak, everyone has faith in you. You're such a big man with a big heart and a big brain and a big cock. So go ahead and just do what you need to do to get this guy to fucking piss him off or scare him. Whatever you gotta do, okay?"
All right. So persuasion, and then roll
And
one
I'll
d8.
give that. To you.
with a D8. Is anybody so?
Bah!
Jeez, that one is so long. Anyways, if anybody else is trying to help, also you can use the help action if anybody is saying anything out loud to try
Maybe
to.
advantage. Huh?
I will just say that we're not going to let you hurt her.
Then go ahead. Then for Norak, specifically you're saying we were sent by somebody, but you can't see them.
Yeah, I said we were sent by somebody, but it's not anybody that is here with us right now.
Okay. It's not a super persuasive thing, but with the inspiration from Pogo and Arteme or Sarah showing some strength of will that you guys won't allow them to, and you have multiple bodies laying around you. There are 4 that you guys have killed so far. We'll see. So go ahead and roll with advantage, and you have an extra D8 to see if you can roll high enough. So just roll with advantage, and then roll another D8. We'll add it to it. Okay. Well, go ahead and roll your D8 too. All right. So I'm going to tell you the DC was extremely high. With good reason. I kind of intended you guys to have to finish this, but I disrupted in.
Well, considering we have to get his heart, I don't know how we're gonna persuade him to just give us his heart. We just need to do a little surgery, bro. Then we'll be out of your hair. You'll be fine.
The rest.
Just
Just convince the
suck
rest
on
of
this
them.
gas real quick.
Does this smell like chloroform to you?
Does it smell like chloroform?
I put it in the Discord though. I rolled a natural 19 rather +1 for 20 plus the 4 from the D8 from Bardic Inspiration.
Ooh.
24. He stops, just kind of still, and you see his head kind of pull back a little bit. He says, 2 minutes. You have 2 minutes to explain yourselves. And he tells he kind of gestures to the werewolves, and they kind of just stand still, and then they stand back in a line.
Tell him to pull all his werewolves back into one group. Pineapple.
You can't say pineapple at the end. That's not how that works.
Pineapple.
Looks like they already
Tell
are.
him to put all the werewolves in a group.
Well, they are kind of.
Oh,
they
okay, never
kind of
mind. We're fine. Don't
back
worry.
themselves up. The direwolf backs up to give some space there.
So
and
I'm gonna.
He
can
walks
I-
up. He's standing right here.
Can I hold as a reaction in case this goes badly and he decides to attack us again? Can I cast Hypnotic Pattern?
Have it ready? You mean?
Right in the have it ready to right in the middle, or we still have to wait for our group order?
No, you totally can. This is like I said. We're pausing the turn order at the moment for initiative. So
Yeah,
you
'cause
spend
it
your
would basically
reaction
set
to
it to
react.
fit all of this group with Hypnotic Pattern. I'm just gonna hold it at the ready. Wait, I want to do this. Liam style. I'm gonna quietly take a glowing stick of incense out of my pocket, and I'm gonna hold it at the ready facing that group of werewolves.
You know what's funny is I actually went through all of my spells for my new character. I went through all of my spells looking for anything that had a material component, and only 2 of them do. One of which is guidance, which is why I was sprinkling fucking seawater all the time.
Yeah. I like it.
It
That's
sounds
a
like
little
a cool
flair.
thing. Yeah,
This one, the
absolutely
first time
loved
I decided to do it, super boring. It's literally just a stick of incense, a glowing stick of incense. I'm like, oh.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I had Thursday night. I looked through it Thursday.
Critical Role has lied to me.
No, well, I mean, wizard spells probably have cooler things. I only have 2 spells that use them. One of them is an Eye of Newt, of course,
Sure,
right?
classic.
Of course. And the other was supposed to be holy water. So for the Stormlord, I figured, well, that'll just be seawater, blessed seawater, which is why I was sprinkling seawater on everybody. So, anyways, that guy's gonna be a lot of fun to play. I'm looking forward to it.
Cool.
We just didn't get to do a cool fight, so that sucks. But I wanted to fight that thing in the pool, but nobody else was interested. Anyways, so back to our game here. The Silverford one is kind of walking up slowly. Sai is kind of in his way, but he doesn't really pay much attention. He just basically stops there and kind of looks down. You know what? Actually, I think he looks down and then reaches down to try to kind of pat her on the head. What does she do, Fox?
She would just kind of growl at him and then run towards him.
Okay. You see the corners of his mouth kind of curl upwards, like a what can you do? Like he was at least going to try. And he looks at you. He says, "You've got 2 minutes. What do you want from us?"
Pineapple, ask him what's going on with the Red Rock stuff and what they're doing here. Ask him his name. Tell him halflings taste like shit.
He can't hear what Pogo's saying because that's in the stone, of course. But he
Pineapple.
says, "Time's clock's ticking."
I'm just gonna say, we were sent here by other elves that look similar to the elf with us, and
they were gonna murder us.
And they were essentially forcing us at arrow point to come here and search for the heart of. And I, out of character, can't remember the name of that. Did she ever tell us a name, or is it
I think it's his heart.
It's his heart.
Yeah, but I mean, again, because we don't know what this guy's name is yet. So, because we haven't asked, but out again, did the elves mention the name of the werewolf that we need the heart of?
No, she. As far as she said anything, they were just beasts. She was, in fact, I would say that Arteme probably noticed this. Nobody rolled for this or asked about it, but it seemed almost suspicious that she kept just calling them beasts and not any kind of personification. It was very clear that she was.
And this guy talks. Yeah.
That might have, if anything, been a surprise to anybody, but Arteme would probably have noticed that he seemed, or that her description of them was dismissive and very like she's talking about culling animals rather than sentient beings.
Pineapple, tell them that a bunch of their fucking things attacked us the second they saw us before, and that we just assumed that these guys are just gonna try to fucking kill us.
We accidentally surprised those werewolves, so when we popped in from the teleport, though, remember?
Are you saying
Pineapple!
that
Right?
Still fucked
well,
up!
no, I'm just saying out of game.
Okay.
Because I'm just saying that out of game. And Norak would have thought of that. He didn't say that back to Pogo, because I'm guessing the werewolf can hear me, because I'm saying.
Well, you could pineapple back, though, so, I mean, you could
okay.
say pineapple, which would still be confusing if you guys keep saying pineapple out loud, but the rest of it would be.
But either way, I mean, I'm not going to say anything back to Pogo, but Norak would have thought about that first. So.
Okay.
I'm going to say, but I'm going to finish the story telling him, because I was just asking that out of game, saying that we were sent to find the heart of one of your kind here. I'm guessing it's probably yours. Huh?
He laughs, and he says, "My heart, huh? Who is this elf that sent you?"
Again, did we ever catch her name? Okay.
We did.
Sorry, my memory's terrible. I couldn't remember this shit.
Her name was is it Pineapple? Is that the name?
Yeah.
Therese and so on.
Yeah, it was Therese.
Okay. And like Norak would have heard them talking.
Norak would remember that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
That happened like an hour and a half ago. So.
I'll tell him we were sent by an elven woman named Therese.
He kind of, you see his jaws tighten a little bit, and he kind of nods a little bit. He says Therese ever was single-minded. He kind of turns, like, his head turns to the side a little bit, like he's thinking. He says, "You've been deceived, I'm afraid. Killing me won't stop the spread of the disease." He looks back at Arteme. He says, "Your friend here can fill you in on this, maybe, but You, Tavana, are likely ignorant of the physiology.
Ask him if he knows where the thing we're looking for is. Maybe we don't need the elves at all. Fuck this island. Ask him where. Ask him where
You
the
hear
the
a very,
main thing.
still a very panicked Pogo shouting things in your ear
I don't know.
as this werewolf is
1
trying.
minute.
He says he's kind of still looking at Arteme a little bit. He says, when we reach an advanced age, many of us are stricken with an irrepressible will to return to nature. Will Warren, it is called. To become the beast. We hunt the hills and forests as our ancestors did, but on 4 legs with using claw. And I'll share this note. Becky, you probably remember that.
Yeah, it just dawned since she said it.
So you probably understand. Well, Sarah doesn't understand what's going on. Becky probably does a little bit. But he says, I felt its urging when I was young. It grew and grew through the centuries until I couldn't ignore it no longer. Nearly a decade ago, as the Relic Wars were ending and the Vine Lash ravaged our homeland, it became too much to bear. But as the governor of Termos, I couldn't leave my people to rebuild alone, so I sought a cure. And you guys probably buy this. Is it dawning on anybody what's happening here? Anybody else understanding what's happening?
People are turning
Yeah,
into
but-
werewolves.
I just don't know if Norak would have thought of it, put 2 and 2 together yet. Obviously, Arteme would
Elves
have
are
thought about it.
turning.
Yeah, elves are turning into.
Elves are people too.
Well, they're turning into their animal forms. It doesn't necessarily have to be werewolf, right?
Yeah.
It's
So
looking like most of
Okay.
these are werewolves. I'm not seeing a lot of lizards.
specifically, Will Warren, Arteme would know all about this, of course. It mostly affects the males. It doesn't affect the females as often. But it
Typical.
it generally it kind of over time as they get older. Think of it like dementia for humans. As they get older, it gets harder and harder to resist. But for them, they kind of become more bestial, and then would, in some cases, anyways, if they were druids, for example, or able to shapeshift, they would turn into natural forms and just be as animals in the world. This particular case, there's something else. It seems like also affecting that. It was just basically that's so far you guys probably won't be together that far. But he continues. He says, in fact, actually, Arteme, give me a memory check, please. He says, I felt its urging when I was young, and I sought a cure. I couldn't really do much to leave it be, and I couldn't leave my people to rebuild after the Vine Lash had destroyed our homes. In the swampy reed of the bay to the north, I heard whispers. I thought it nothing but further symptoms of the Warren were overtaking me. So instead, I found an answer, I found an answer. The whispers offered a cure if I would but carry chunks of this red coral back to my home, dropping bits here and there as I walked.
Pineapple. Doesn't look like it's fucking working. Pineapple. Pineapple. See if he knows where that thing is.
The voice sounds vaguely familiar, Fox. There's a certain kind of lupine tone to it, but the voice sounds like someone you might, a long time ago have known, maybe. He continues, he says, I did as the whispers asked of me, and where I dropped those slivers, the coral grew like a red serpent sneaking through the woods and ruins. But the whispers held true to their word in a fashion. Over time, Will Warren's bestial rage did fade, but this transformation took its place, and he kind of looks down at himself with his arms holding out. And soon the whispers had called to all of the Termos, and he's kind of quiet for a moment there. Looking down at his arms. Is he saying anything?
Ask if other people are starting to revert back to their normal human selves. Pineapple.
That's
So
gonna
the
make
coral was a double-edged sword.
He looks up at you. He says, the coral, it whispers to us. I don't think the coral is the source, but rather the medium that whatever is controlling it is communicating to us. But yeah, in a sense, we became this, and he's kind of looking over his brethren, because of my choices. He says, we sent emissaries to Merethalis, which you guys know is the capital that you guys were heading towards in the south, the capital of Windsare here on this island. We sent emissaries to Merethalis seeking Elantari Salende's wisdom, the queen, inadvertently spreading the disease to the innocent Quendai there. But our pleas were met with massacre. We fought back in defense of our own lives, but the Elantari still seeks to wipe us out.
So Pogo is gonna yell now to make himself known, and he's gonna be like, he's gonna kind of walk. Just can he walk forward a little bit? Can I move?
Yeah. You can move,
Okay.
yeah.
So he's gonna move forward, so he's in view of everyone here.
Okay.
And I'm in Arteme's shape. Do I see any kind of reaction from this main werewolf person?
If you're not trying to hide yourself at all, right?
Nope. I'm just look like Artemis. I haven't changed my form again since the elves held us at Arrow Point. So I'm just looking like Artemis, hanging out.
He starts for a second and kind of steps backward and reaches a paw or claw out in your direction, like he's about to point, and then he kind of stops and sniffs, and then he just puts his arm down. And
Yeah, we switched bodies, fairy magic and all that.
Pixie magic. I'm just gonna
Pixie
roll my
magic.
eyes up.
Thank you, Artemis. And I'm gonna make a direct reference to say her name loudly to see if I get any reaction as well from the werewolf guy.
Make a perception check.
All right. And then what I'm going to do. Nope.
Yeah, you're looking between the shoulder blades and heads of
Sure.
two others and Norok rather to even see him. His head is moved out of the way, but you couldn't read. Just his eyes were not visible.
I'll tell you what. Maybe we can cut a deal. We can all walk away if you can help us find one thing. Because maybe we can avoid those elves, but they promised to help us, and we're on a dire mission. And that one thing that we're looking for is pineapple. What's the name of the thing we're looking for again?
It's an arc.
Arc of what? Just an arc? Pineapple?
Just arc.
It is a specific arc, though.
Yeah. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head.
Becky's rolling through her notes. I can hear.
I am.
I swear I put it in my notes, but I cannot find it.
It's got a funny name.
Nope, that's not it. Chat.
Denal arc.
It is
Denal?
a Denal. No, so Denal is the rill that it pulls power from. It is attuned to Denal. It is
It's the chorus, right?
it's the Wood Sage's chorus.
Sage's Chorus. If you can tell us where to find the Sage's Chorus, then we can get out of your hair and leave you alone.
He kind of turns it, moves his head so that he's peering over Norok's shoulder, over at you, and he kind of squints. He says, "What would you know of the Wood Sage's chorus?"
We needed to stop a whole fucking war. Come on, work with me here, buddy.
He squints further. He says, "Even if I knew where to tell you, or where that would be to even tell you, I most certainly would not be revealing this location to outsiders. You, Tavana, have no claim to our sacred artifact."
We only want to borrow it.
Yeah, we're gonna bring it back. We're not monsters. Oops, sorry. Didn't mean to offend anybody.
He says, "Absolutely not. Even if I knew, I wouldn't tell you anyway."
All right.
I'm confused. I'll admit I feel I should allow you maybe to leave, but to be clear, you've been placed here under
Pineapple.
duress.
Should we fucking just murder these guys, Pineapple?
He says, you have been put here under duress, but she's not entirely wrong. Reese and Yelantari, but killing me won't cure anyone except for me.
Can I roll an insight check and see if I believe him?
Yeah, can I do that too?
Everything he's been saying?
Yes,
Because I'm not sure I believe that he's gonna let us go. I'll put this one in the dice tower.
Oh shit! Sarah still has fucking
Damn it.
-4. We got a 3 total. Becky, Pogo and Norok, you both. Sarah, you're not sure. You really can't read him. You're kind of also up a little bit, and remember, at the shape of a dog's head, he's kind of looking forward at Norok, so you can't really see his eyes very well. But Pogo and Norok, you guys can kind of see his eyes better, especially when he moves over. Artemis as well. You all believe you think he's probably being pretty forthright about it.
Okay.
Pineapple, if we leave, the other elves aren't gonna fucking help us. Pineapple, but they were also kind of bitches, so I don't know.
What if we convince them?
It's a real Sophie's choice, Pineapple.
What the hell is Sophie's choice?
It's just a
Sophie's
just a-
choice.
yeah.
It's a
don't-
movie
is
from the early '90s where a girl had to decide which of her kids. I think it was the Nazis. Wasn't it supposed to be World War II?
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I've ever actually seen the entire movie. Everything I know of is pop culture. It's a rock and a hard place type
It's pretty much
situation.
that. Yeah, it's basically a girl has to decide which of her kids she's going to save, and the other one the Nazis are going to kill. So the Sophie's choice is supposed to be an impossible choice. Kind of thing.
Go with option 3 and escape. Hello?
Oh, I see.
It was
I see. We're on a mission. Let's just do it. Let's
Okay.
go.
He's standing there. It's clear that he's like pondering what to do. He says, "I'll allow you to leave. Just if Therese is going to continue this, just make it clear to her that if she sends any further groups in here after us, I'm going to shred them to bits."
Well,
I'm
what if
not-
you could be like your intermediaries?
Ask how many other wolves he has back in this place.
We could pass messages back and forth, maybe try to get you guys to work together.
I'm gonna ask if he knows how to get rid of the coral.
I think he wants the coral.
No.
He looks at Arteme. He says, "My best guess is near the bay. I mean, anytime that any of us try to go that direction, we're struck with horrible headaches and we're forced to turn around. There's visions of things that we'd rather not see and headaches that we can't stand, and then we either disappear and we never come back, or we turn around and make our way back here. We've just been trying to rebuild as best we can. These were our homes in the first place before the Vine Lash wiped it out. We're just trying to get our homes back. We just want to live in peace. The elves won't leave us be."
God, everyone on this island's fucking terrible.
I'm just gonna look at him and say, "You see why I don't come back unless it's an emergency?"
I can smell that you're from here. Why did you leave? When did you leave?
I'll just flick my eyes to him and say, about 300 years ago, after my parents. That was not much reason to stay.
You haven't been back since the destruction.
On and off, not often.
Well, you can see that it hasn't left us with much, and he's kind of got his arms out, like palms upward, looking around. Which we do our best to get rid of these plants, but they come back every day. With this coral here, we have to kind of work around it as best we can, just trying not to get too close so the whispers don't overtake us.
So I'm gonna yell at him. How much do you care about all these other wolves and werewolves around you? These other people of yours? Because I'm letting you know right now, the elves that led us here, they seem like they're gonna come and kill everyone regardless. If you sacrifice yourselves, I will do my best to convince them to leave everyone else alone. But we need something of you. Physical, a part of you. Unfortunately, it's really not the best option, but it's kind of what we need to do, and I think it's the best option for your group of werewolves out here. And I'm gonna try to persuade him or intimidate him to take his own life to save the rest of his group. We won't hurt anyone else.
Or we could find out where the coral's coming from so it won't affect the whole frickin' island.
We'll do that too, but we need.
To the Arteme that's standing on the plank over there, he looks at you. He says, "I'm not being obtuse here. If by giving my life I could cure these people, I absolutely would. Me dying will not stop the spread of the disease, nor will it cure it. I'll be the only one that wouldn't suffer any longer, which I may welcome, but at the same time, I have to do my best to help my people."
Let me just get this straight. So elves are turning into wolves, right? As they get older. What's the problem with that? Is that so bad?
He kind of shrugs. He says that our brethren seek us out and hunt us like the animals we appear to be.
Are they aware of why this is happening? Have they been explained? Do they just think you guys are a bunch of werewolves trying to encroach, or are we all on the same page here? I don't know if they know what's happening.
Twice we sent emissaries, and twice they killed them all.
Were they
It was-
werewolf emissaries? I mean, that's... could be why.
He kind of shrugs and holds his hands up. Who else am I to send?
I mean, look at us! We're not werewolves!
Are you saying you would speak on our behalf?
I think we can at least try.
Like that went over so well last time.
Yeah, everyone on this island is terrible. You grew up in a horrible spot.
That was utter sarcasm.
Everything's either got claws and teeth and trying to kill us, or they're pretty hot elves trying to kill us, or fucking people changing bodies and making. And he starts kicking off these snails that have Sam started gathering on his leg. Snails fucking crawling up my leg. Ah!
You're surrounded by probably
miss our cheese bath.
A good dozen snails that have begun to crawl up on the plank coming towards your feet.
Alright, fine. Arteme, you decide what we want to do. I'm leaving this choice to you.
He looks over to Arne. He was like, that was his response to, your asking if he would sacrifice himself and so on. But he looks at Arteme, who had spoken in the middle there too about, seeking another possibility for the cure. He said, in regards to the coral, my people can't go anywhere near it. But that's my only guess is that if someone capable of approaching it and not affected by what plagues us is able to find its source, maybe that's where the solution could lie. I have no way to know.
Don't forget, guys, those elves are gonna try to kill us. Pineapple. If we fucking leave here, they're gonna try to kill us. If
I'm
we
gonna
come
just
back, these guys are gonna try to kill us.
Maybe next session or the session after, one of these days, I'm going to enforce the pineapple has to be at the beginning kind of a thing, and all of this is going to be so confusing to any NPCs around because you keep saying pineapple at the end, and that doesn't work.
Pineapple.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so considering Teresa's probably around, since she told us not to run, they're probably listening in on the conversation anyway. Which
they made it clear that they would have arrows trained on you the entire time, and they're probably in the hills above you.
Which means they would be in hearing range, and they would want the whatever it is dealt with more than probably wanting to actually kill.
Doubt.
So if we were to go to the coast to try and find out what's wrong, to try and get rid of the coral so that people could actually try and concentrate on the plant situation, that would actually help the whole island.
Alright. What if this pineapple. No, you don't, fuck it. Alright. What if, and I'm talking directly to the main werewolf, what if you come with us to where we need to go to try to solve this problem of yours, and if we get attacked by those other fucking elves, you can work with us to defend ourselves. Because it seems like we're gonna get attacked no matter where we go. Is everyone? I'm saying this out loud to everybody. Is there anyone who has objections? That way it looks to the other elves like we've got the main guy and we're taking him somewhere, maybe to murder. Who knows? Not really. I'm saying we're not doing it. That's what they'll see. So they won't attack us immediately. And then we can go and see whether we can help you with this fucking coral. Can't believe I'm saying that. We're gonna go have to fight rocks, I suppose. Whatever this is.
Okay, it's not kind of like rocks that we're fighting. It's more of we're fighting something that it's kind of like a cause and effect, right? So similar to how we had to fight, what was his name? Bottle
Really?
guy on the ship. No, the guy on the ship that was getting turned into something
It was
else.
Bottle?
Yeah, that was
Bottle. So that was an effect. The coral is kind of like that. So the monster that we had to fight at the end was the actual, like, cause of it. So with
Sure.
the coral, it's something similar. The coral is not it is cause of damage, but it's just the catalyst, not the actual
Pineapple,
damage
Norok,
anything.
what do you think on this whole situation?
Hang on, he's got to unmute
Unity.
himself.
Don't forget to say pineapple.
I am so going to have nightmares about that word now. Gee.
You're still muted, G. There you go.
Yeah, I'm sorry, it just took me to this one. Well, I really don't care as long as we deal with those other elves. Because I know they're going to try to fuck with us. So, you ready to whip their asses, I'm guessing?
So we either kill elves. I'm sorry, pineapple. So we either kill elves that are gonna turn into werewolves maybe one day, or we kill werewolves that were elves but are now werewolves. Do you see why it doesn't seem to matter to me?
We can try talking to the elves, but they've already heard most of this anyway already. So.
Arteme, so if you guys were...
I mean, we are here!
But, Arteme, you recognize this as Governor Nonways. There's a word for governor, but that's what you translated as governor. So anyways, you recognize that that's who this must be. You'd heard him speaking before, but you weren't friendly with him or anything. You traveled through Termos plenty of times. So, I mean, you basically, like, you weren't, I guess, personally introduced to him, but you had heard him speaking over crowds and things like that in the past during holiday events and that kind of thing, which is why you guys, vaguely recognized his voice. But when you guys are having that communication back and forth, he does speak up. He says, Therese, as much as she may be misguided, is likely just following the Elantari's direction. I mean, she was not a unreasonable woman as I knew her. Although granted, that was some time ago, but she should be at least amenable. If you would speak to her first, you might be able to at least just tell her that what your intent is, and then maybe about it. And if she still is insistent on seeking my heart, tell her she can come and take it herself.
Works for me. I'm just gonna look at Arteme.
I'll just shrug. It's up to you, honestly. Either way, I'd rather just not die in this situation.
We feel the same.
How many of you are there? It just keeps seeming like they're coming out of the woodwork. What are
Can we
there,
not
40,
ask
50
that
of you guys?
question?
Yeah, he just scowls at you. He doesn't answer.
All right.
Now you do
Oh,
realize
I wouldn't
this
answer.
was a town. Well, no, I mean he scowls at Pogo. Well, at Arteme as Pogo. Doesn't answer, and then kind of returns his gaze back to the rest of you guys who are closer together. But you do realize too, this was a whole town, and the people that weren't killed by the vine lash are still numerous enough that there's probably a few hundred at the very least.
I'm just gonna ask, what about the dire wolves? Where do they come in?
They're friends, they're family.
So, some people got turned into werewolves, which sentient, able to talk, and some got turned into dire. Or the dire wolves are familiars and stuff that just stay with them.
No, you see him grin slightly, and the one that was further away, the one that had backed up, stands up next to him, and you see the form begin to change and stand up into a bipedal form. Clearly a vaguely feminine werewolf shape, but has transformed into a bipedal werewolf standing next to him.
Okay. That answers that. I'm good. Sorry, that answers that. I'm good.
He just nods.
All right. So I guess we're leaving then.
I'm gonna go close to him and show him the map to try and see. And now that he's not trying to kill me, Sai's just gonna go and twine around him, just like.
Oh, because he had tried to pet her?
Yeah.
Okay. He kind of smiles. You see the corners of the lupine mouth curl up slightly, and he kind of just reaches down and pats her on the head.
I don't want to be a dick, but what do we get if we help you?
I'm not asking for your help. You don't get anything. We just want to live in peace. If you manage to find some cure for this, we would be ever in your debt, and I would certainly find some way to repay you. But
all right. So if we get a cure, and we come back and we bring you a cure, then what do we get?
An entire island's worth of riches? We're not the only ones affected. The city alone south of here probably has more people affected with this same plague than are what's left in this town. They just probably kill them off as soon as they see them. For all I know.
Right, I'm on board. Let's do this. Let's go find this stuff. Let's fix it.
I'm just gonna turn around and look at Pogo and be like, we are not getting an island full of riches.
We're getting an island full of riches. How dare you?
We're actually
There's
not.
something we came for.
We're gonna get so many fucking beautiful cups, and I'm gonna get a giant necklace that has my name on it.
I'm just gonna shake my head and say ignore the
at the idea
treasure
of
obsessed
riches. Pogo he's still gonna kind of keep the thing in his pocket, but he's gonna come all the way down next to Norak and be like, all right, I like it. I like where your head's at. Let's see if we can get you all sorted out. I'm Pogo. Nice to meet you. What's your name again, sir?
He kind of reaches a very large claw down that when you put your hand out to shake his.
I like that you just
his
assumed
claw-
I was shaking hands. I'm not getting close. I'm still like 10 feet away. I'm like,
Oh, I thought you were. Okay. I
no,
thought
no,
you
I'm
were
not shaking hands. I'm verbally.
Okay, well, in that
How are
case,
you?
he does reach his hand out as if to shake yours.
Ah,
but his
In
claw
that
is
case, I will very carefully grab one claw.
okay
One,
because I was going to say
just with two fingers.
his whole. I mean, remember that werewolf what's the word I'm looking for the chain, the physical change. Let's say his claw would be the length of your forearm at least. So
And I'm gonna, as I'm shaking his paw, and be like, just so you know, maybe you should write that on like a sign, so that people know that you're not just wolves and creatures. That there's, maybe we're not werewolves. We are elves that were werewolves that were elves.
He kind of tilts his
It
head
might-
at you and says,
Maybe.
"Because the people here know what we are.
Oh,
You,
do they
you
really?
you outsiders aren't supposed to be here in the first place.
Shit.
What good would a sign do? Anyone that would come across us are similarly affected by the same disease. They just maybe haven't come to the stage, but
Those elves must be real dicks if they're just still so upset about this. Is it all of them? Are all of them
Kind of.
not fans of you, or is it just the group that are trying to kill us, to kill you? Blah blah blah. This whole group.
he points at one of the werewolves that's standing behind Norok, and he says, "Endelmo there came from Erethalis. We do have occasional converts that, once the disease has affected them to this point, they come here for respite, to find a safe place to live where they won't be taken out of their homes in the middle of the night and butchered. Everyone knows it's a matter of when they're affected, they come here, or if they're not as lucky, they die in the streets."
All right. Well, I'm still not totally confident we're not going to get murdered when we leave here, but you know what? Are you? I know it's been probably maybe past the 2 minutes, but I feel like we've got a decent connection now. Can we talk more in maybe an inside, safer location where we don't have arrows trained on us? Can we all calm down now? Are we all calm? Can everyone calm down now? Are we okay? Can we break bread?
He kind of nods. He says, "I think we're of an understanding that we
All
can
right.
communicate in better circumstances."
All right. Okay. Oh, that was scary, and I apologize on behalf of all the halflings that we did not mean to do these bad things that apparently we did. We had no idea. We really didn't know any of this. None of it was. It was bad intel. We had bad intel on the entire situation.
He seems puzzled. Did you come with an army of halflings? What are you even talking about?
No, I just.
And you
I
look
feel
like an elf.
real-
Fine.
I feel. Oh yeah, no, I'm a halfling. You can smell me. Here, smell me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay,
I'm
I'm
actually
just
halfling.
going to punch his arm and tell him to shut up.
Sorry.
Pogo's rambling at the
So,
moment. Surrounded
so-
by-
Completely rambling, terrified. Yes. Not a good thing with a traveling companion if you're in like life and death situations as much as we.
all right.
Nanway gestures to his people. He says, "Endelmo, please gather up our dead. Make sure their names are recorded." And he
So
kind of turns and heads back towards his tent.
I feel so bad. All right.
The tent area back there, the map here, I'll go ahead and reveal it for you. Not that it matters. Gonna attack him or something, but I'll just delete the mask for the rest of it so you guys can see it all. But he makes his way back into this kind of tent area back here. This part has a roof on it. You can see that he's kind of gone back this way, and if you eventually make your way back there, he is back there.
So now that I was up close to him, can I see if he has any
A heart?
baubles?
Did you see if he's got a heart?
No, can I see if he's got any like shiny objects on him? Or
He doesn't appear to be have like anything as far as
Okay, he's just a
just a werewolf. Yeah.
wolf person. All right, pineapple. All right, should we go follow him for a bit, or should we just leave?
I think it's worth at least having a discussion.
I want more information about the coral.
All right, I think that's good. My only concern. I'm talking out loud now. My only concern is that if the elves are watching, they're probably either very confused or angry or hot and bothered. I don't know. Just, I'm a little worried.
How would they get there? Never mind. Whatever.
I mean, there's a lot of action. Maybe the adrenaline's going. I don't know. All right, so we're going to talk. We're gonna go talk. And as Pogo goes, he's gonna try to take a look at his surroundings. And does he see anything in this camp that looks explosive? Any like oils or anything like that seems out of the ordinary that could cause a giant fire or anything like that?
Give me a perception check. Norak, you going down too? Arteme and Sai as well?
Yeah.
Okay. It is way down there. I'll go ahead and move you. Okay. Oh, you got it. Okay. Looking around, nothing stands out at you except that the torches. Every place that you see a torch, which are a few different places amongst the camp here. There are small barrels next to barrel's not a good word. I guess like a small cask essentially next to, like basically close by where each of the torches are. That looks like it's a lamp oil. Yeah.
Right. So small things.
Yeah, they probably, they take the torch, dip it in the lamp oil, light it up, set it back up, and it's
okay.
It is late now, by the way. It is about midnight. You guys have been talking for a bit, so it's about midnight at this point. Saturday morning.
All right. So what else do we need to know about this situation?
Well, you guys make your way back into the room. He is sitting at the far end of a table, just a werewolf sitting down, basically, in a chair there. He says, "My camp is at your disposal. I don't know what else to tell you, but I'll certainly do my best to answer whatever I can, assuming that our hostilities are ended for the moment."
This has been a doozy of a day.
He kind of nods. He says, "Yeah, you're not the only one."
Does this happen regularly? Do these elves keep attacking you all the time?
Well, once a week, thereabout. To be fair, they don't usually kill so many as. He kind of growls a little bit at that. Like you hear the voice is growling throughout the statement.
Well, at least we know if they usually don't kill so many, then we might be able to kill them should need be. I mean, silver linings and all that.
He kind of smirks a little bit.
All right. Arteme, what do you need to know for us to get this sorted? And I'd like to, if she's going to try to persuade or intimidate or do anything, I'd like to back her up with any kind of help I can for her conversation skills.
You want to ready your bardic inspiration is what you're asking?
No, I was just going to help as
okay.
I'm just gonna work with her if she's trying to ask him or convince him or like that. So she can roll with advantage if I'm helping her or whatever.
He shouts over your guys' shoulders. He says, Unquan, bring us some bread and salt if you would, please. And you hear scurrying in the room behind you for a bit. What is it?
Okay, so for the
what?
For the quarrel, when did it start?
It started. Norak, you feel a werewolf tap on your shoulder behind you. He just continues. So he says, it started when I went to the bay north of here, and I heard whispers. And it told me that if I brought this coral, which I had found in slivers and small dust on the beach there, that if I had taken this back to the town here and sprinkled it along the way, that it would cure my Will Warren, and I would be able to take care of my people after the Vine Lash's destruction.
So
wherever I dropped it, it grew and became this any kind of. He holds his hands up as if he's gesturing. There's none in here, but it became this serpent almost that leads its way back to the bay, into the water.
So you're the only one that has
less than 10 years old.
And you're the only one that has this form. Everyone else is just this kind of a normal werewolfy form.
He looks like a normal werewolf too. He's just smaller.
Oh.
He's not very big.
All right, never mind.
Yeah, he's
Disregard.
silver. There's others with silver.
That's
fur.
just me not understanding what I'm looking at.
Yeah, he looks a little bit older and he's kind of small. Like as far as the other werewolf size, he's not very big.
So are you the
Artemis,
only?
you remembered that he wasn't a very big elf in the first place. He was a small man.
Are you the only one that can speak in common? Then
We remember the languages we held beforehand. We retain our own personality. At least this way. I mean, to be fair, with the normal effects of Wilwarren, we wouldn't even have that. We wouldn't look like this, but we would be some other random beast, some deer, some snake, some creature of the forest.
so I don't want to keep doing this in game. I think I'm just confused. So he got the red rock. He was already a werewolf when he found the red rock.
No, he was an elf.
So he was an elf,
So,
and he found the
yeah.
red rock. So the red rock, him spreading it here, is what caused people to start turning into werewolves,
Yes.
or is it a normal? Okay, I thought for some reason that was like a cure for him
So-
completely turning.
This makes a little more sense to both Fox and Becky because they knew a little bit more about Wilwarren already. That is a mental disorder that affects all elves, period. Nothing to do with werewolves. It just is a mental disorder like dementia that as they get older, they become more and more animalistic. Again, primarily affecting males, less so the females.
So the rock stops that,
The rock,
but
yes,
it also
turn them into
turns them into werewolves.
correct. Yeah.
And is that? But is it turning younger people into werewolves as well, or is it just the older people suffering from Will Warren?
Correct.
Correct. I asked which one.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
it
the
A
last-
or B?
Okay.
Yes.
So-
the ones that were already as basically Will Warren is turning them into werewolves instead of just losing dementia. It's basically turned Will Warren into something different.
So do these werewolves also have dementia, or is it just?
It stopped the mental effects and gave them this physical effect instead.
So it just changed the effect. Okay.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
So this is going to happen. So basically, even if we find a cure for this, it's just going to turn them into super sick elves with some weird form of dementia,
Which is the
Yes.
natural order for them anyway.
and they would prefer that.
Yes.
God, I'd rather be a
That's the way it's
fucking
always
wolf.
been. I mean, that may be, on an individual basis, yes, maybe that's what they might prefer. But at least as far as Nonway is concerned, like he just wants his people to be. It's not just as simple as being werewolves. They also are kind of enthralled a little bit in that being near the coral is they're kind of hearing these whispers and seeing visions and things like that are unpleasant, and they'd rather just go to their natural order of returning to nature, which is what the Warren does.
Is the coral still spreading? Is it getting worse?
Slowly, it does. Yes, it's continuing further south as far as we've seen. We can't really go far from Termos here without, being
So it's really just
running into the Nisso Quendi squad and being murdered.
It's
he
really
holds
just a
out,
matter of time.
The tray that was brought to him of bread and salt is sitting on the table in front of him. He says, "Please, if you would. It'll
yeah.
buy you safety."
Oh, I'm gonna take some of the venison out of the bag that I had made into jerky and give.
He's kind of sniffing the air, like you can see him like visibly salivating.
I'm gonna have some bread. Well, I'll break bread with you.
I'm gonna push it closer to him so he doesn't. It's probably been a while since they've had meat, so.
I mean, they're still hunting and everything around here too. There's just a lot more. The creatures are, in many cases, like diseased and probably not good eating anymore. But when they can occasionally find, healthy deer and so on. But he's kind of, pushed the tray with the bread and the salt to the middle of the table so that everybody can have some. Is anybody not taking any?
I'm definitely eating some. I feel like I'm not going to murder this person.
Can I do an insight check first? And
Sure.
if he's,
Yep.
I don't know, maybe it's poison or something. I don't know.
Go ahead.
But-
Smart. Pogo's not that smart.
You don't know one way or the other.
Shit. Alright.
Arteme does recognize that this is kind of traditional hospitality, and that if you have eaten bread and salt under someone's roof, they are not allowed to harm you. He's basically giving you a contract, all of you, saying that if you do this, then you are safe here.
Yeah, it's well, assuming he's not a complete dick.
He could be crazy, remember.
True.
You guys don't know. But at least so far as your that
I mean, I'm
insight-
not gonna go to sleep like just out in the open. That's for sure.
No, I'm gonna eat some. It's fine.
Okay.
I'm
Sarah,
just gonna nod to Sarah. It's
Yeah.
fine. Because I'm taking a bite.
What's that? Sarah, Nora?
I'll eat some then. If,
Okay.
Artemis is okay.
Are there any pretty baubles or things around this room? Anything fancy?
His pen seems fancy. The pen that, like, he's got a pen on the table in front of him. It's like literally directly on the table in front of him, though.
All right. Good to know.
Gosh, you klepto, seriously.
It's just, I'm not.
Wait, it's
I'm
kind of a
just
character trait.
I,
Yeah, it is a character trait, which is why I'm calling him a klepto. I'm just gonna keep an eye on him and have Sai like growl if he makes any stupid moves.
So you decide to distract him or to
Yeah.
harass him.
Yes.
just,
Shove it.
If he goes for anything shiny, Sai is just going to distract.
He says, as you guys are, each kind of. Gene, were you grabbing a bite too?
Oh, yeah, sorry, he gave me the thumbs up. He's muted still.
Then he, as you guys are kind of breaking bread and having a couple of bites at least with him there, he says the effects are certainly unpleasant. By no means were we expecting any help for this, and since my people and I can't get anywhere near it, we really were expecting no respite at all until we all died off of old age or Quendine's raids eventually wiped us all out. But anytime any of us get too near the coral, I mean, I'll give you this warning if this is something you're thinking. If you get too near it, the whispers become stronger and stronger, and for us, we can't avoid them any longer. And now, at least, and I don't know if you'll be similarly affected by this, except for maybe your Quendi friend here, kind of gestures at Artemis, who looks like Pogo. But I'll tell you, the visions are of eyes most of the time. Many of us have reported seeing the same thing, and it's three eyes in a vertical row, and they're usually red. And when we see them, it focuses on us, and then it'll fade, and then we're racked with headaches and just awful physical tremors for the rest of the day, maybe 2 days until we feel better.
Okay,
So,
and
to
the
prevent that, we
other
need-
elves haven't tried going to try and figure out what the cause of the they just killed your emissaries before they could say anything?
We spotted a squad of Quendi about maybe 2 years ago. They were headed north. There were maybe 40 of them, and we saw none head south again.
So maybe it affected them too?
It may have. It's sad to admit this, but I was hoping that we might have some new additions to our family here, that maybe 2 or 3 or maybe all 40 of them might come back here, even if they were transformed or not. Hoping that maybe they would come back with some kind of news. Maybe they found something that we hadn't yet.
what have you found? Like, can you give us any hints or clues as to what this coral is, where it came from, and how we might stop it? I understand that besides you're getting the headaches when you get too close and the visions, but have you come up with anything else?
It's clear that he's a little bit at a loss, and he's shaking his head a little bit. He says, not much. It feels my best guess is that they're like blood vessels almost, and that the whispers are being communicated along them from something else, something that is controlling them. The coral doesn't appear to be the threat as much as the medium that communicates the threat to us. But we can't follow it enough to find out.
Do we have a map? Do we have a map of this area? At all?
I'd already pulled mine out.
So do you think maybe we should start where you first found that on the beach? Wherever you first found the red rocks?
I'm going to share you guys the region map representing Artemis. Artemis has her, the one that she has made, her own map of it. But this region map here, this is the one you guys have been traveling along. Where Artemis has that red 5-foot arrow, that's Termos. That's the tower at Termos. The bay that he's describing is not far. It's basically you guys kind of almost past the area. It's basically behind. Oh, the text. I guess I can't draw it evenly. Basically, see how, and we'll just call it to the right of that. You can see that red arrow I just made. Here, I'll just make it a circle. We'll just make it simple. I can't do it with the hex.
So wait,
map.
are we actually at the area where the tower was?
Yes, you guys are in.
Fuck off, Leah! How long have you been standing there?
She making fun of you talking like a girl again? Funny. So the hex that's in the center of that red circle I just made, basically behind where that big tree is, there's a bay there. And Artemis, you know that area, you know what I'm referring to. It was a nice swimming place when you were younger. Basically, it's half a day from Termos is this bay, and that's where he was talking about, where he heard whispers. There was some red coral, like dust, at his feet in sand, and whispers told him to bring that here, and he just kind of sprinkled it along on him.
Okay, so
You know, the problem's gonna
time
be
to go near the water to find out what's going on.
we're gonna go there, but I'm telling you right now, and Pogo's looking at the map. If you found dust on the beach here, that means it probably came from fucking here, or here, or here. I don't even know what I did. It means it came from somewhere around here, some other spot.
It may have, I don't know. I just know that that's where I heard the whispers.
You know what really scares me is whether or not this is even going to stop at these islands. It's going to keep going and going. Alright, we should...
Let's see. I guess it'd be maybe persuasion is the closest thing. I'm just whether he. You know what? Everybody, give me insight checks. Everybody, give me insight.
Insight.
Insight's one of the social skills you would normally tower roll, but it doesn't matter in this case. Fox, you got one coming?
Yes, I just need to find it. Oh, there we go.
So, I'm down. It's only
Artemis,
half
you
a
feel
day.
like he's holding something back. It feels like there's something he's not telling you. Seems like he's
Okay.
afraid of something and he's not telling you.
So the coral came how long after the vine?
About the same time, the vine lash came through, and within a couple of months, I went to the beach. And I was at a loss, to be honest. I kind of expected that Will Warren was going to overtake me at any time, and so I was just spending time in nature, kind of waiting for my demise. And when I went near the bay, whispers came and said it would help me and it would give me a cure, and so I followed the request that it offered.
Did you notice anything in the water movements?
I didn't go near enough the water to notice. Nothing that stood out, no. And I haven't been back since. I haven't been able to go back since.
I'm just gonna ask him, is there anything else that the whispers say?
In our tongue, and he looks at Artemis, who looks like Pogo, he says, in our tongue, it whispers things like stitch, and blood, and weave, and so, just nonsense.
Just enough to drive you fucking crazy.
He kind of just nods, like solemnly, like it's sad for him.
I'm gonna give him a sidelong look and say, "What aren't you saying?"
Give me a persuasion check, Artemis.
Yeah! What aren't you telling her? And I'm gonna help.
Is that your attempt to help? Okay, you can
That's
roll
my
it with
attempt to
advantage.
help.
All right, go ahead and roll it one more time, Fox, because you had advantage from Pogo trying to help.
Oh my gosh! Okay.
Oh, that is so perfect. With a 12, and you don't have a modifier for that, he just kind of shrugs. He says, I'm not sure what else to tell you. I'll tell you that it's still clear to you, though, that he's afraid of something, and he's not telling you everything. It seems like he's afraid of something, and he's not telling you what it is, basically. That's the impression that you get based on your insight check, but your insufficient persuasion to get it to tell you.
You know, the good thing about Alzheimer's is you get to meet new people every day.
You feel like there should have been a grin, like you felt like maybe you were proud of that joke or something, but He just looks at you, and it's a completely blank expression, no scowl, no nothing. He says, "It is the natural way of my people. We'd like to return to it if it was ever a possibility. But to be honest, before this conversation, we had resigned ourselves to this. This was just a new way of things."
And you have no idea what this creature is that's using the coral to talk to you?
Or even where it is, or
Give me,
what it is?
Sarah, you're looking at him, wrapped enough to ask that question. Give me a perception check, just Sarah.
Shit. Perception is terrible.
Maybe you should have more wisdom with your -2. You still rolled decently. He shivered slightly when you answered that question. He says, "No, the creature. The best I can say is those 3 eyes. We generally see it. It's almost always 3. They're always in a vertical row, one on top of the other. But there was like this almost like a dog might shake itself, like if it had an itch or something like that. Kind of like that. Like you see the fur shiver a little bit."
And all you ever see are the eyes?
What's that?
Nothing else. I said all you ever see are the 3 eyes, nothing else?
Vague shapes behind it.
Shapes of what?
Give me a persuasion check.
Yeah, shapes of what?
You're being so persuasive, Pogo.
Come on,
Persuasion is so much better.
more help us help you.
You got a 20 total. You had a 17 -3 from your from your lingering injury, plus 6 from your modifier for a total of 20. He looks at you, and it's clear that he's like hesitant to reveal this. He's very reticent to even say this. He says, "Fins, I think, tentacles, something."
Why is it even hard to say that? Why would you? Why? We're trying to help you here, man. Come on. Just say fins. Look,
I'll
fins,
say this.
fins,
This is
fins.
visible to all of you. He it's what's the word I'm looking for? Uncontrollably, it's involuntary. Involuntary is what I'm looking for. He involuntarily shrugs himself up, like making himself small. Arms kind of sinking towards his chest a little bit, and he kind of lifts his shoulders up like he's almost like being cold. That kind of a gesture, and then he kind of rights himself. It's clear that it's even the thought or speaking of it is scaring him.
Fins.
Not you saying it, it's him specifically like thinking about it and saying it out loud.
All right, tell you what then. I'm just gonna start saying words. You get scared. 30 feet tall. 6 legs. Wings. Poison.
He
Any of
looks-
these things scaring you?
He looks over at Norak. He says, "Can you shut this one up?"
Don't you dare, Norak!
I'm gonna go over and just smack Pogo in the back of the head.
You have come down off your broom, I assume, because you're inside of a
Yeah.
building.
Yeah, no, I'm walking.
Fine.
Trying
Ah!
to intimidate. Even in Artime form, you're not very intimidated.
I'm gonna.
Can I reach the back of his head then?
Yeah, I mean, you're 4 feet tall, so under.
So Pogo is gonna get frustrated, and he's gonna go walk around the outside of this area and just see what he can see, because he's getting frustrated. And now would have to go fight some other thing to get to the thing. So he's gonna go for a walk.
Okay. You can go ahead and move yourself wherever you're going
All
around.
right, I'm just gonna go over here, see what's in this room, poke around.
That's that's those crates and everything are enough that you can kind of know. Oh, okay, you're just going up the front anyways. If you're just looking around as you're wandering around the camp, the other werewolves are kind of taken aback and start kind of following you around.
You cut out there. I don't know what you said.
The other werewolves and wolves that are here in the camp see you and start following you around as soon as you.
All right. I'm gonna actually use my hat of disguise to make myself also look like a werewolf, and then just kind of wave at them.
Okay, well you're a very small werewolf because
Very small, but I'm just gonna wave. And I know they can smell me, but I'm just gonna wave.
Well, go ahead, Sarah. We'll just handle it as a split group.
Can I make a memory check and see if that sounds like the thing we faced on the boat?
Yeah, go ahead.
That didn't roll.
let's see, you did fly up on the broom at one point and looked down and saw into its face. Both you and Pogo did. And Pogo was held up above it and then saw it when it was, when Pogo was being kind of bashed around by the tentacles. But you went up on the broom as it was pulling the ship down. The face didn't have 3 eyes in a row the way that it's described. But it does sound, there's something about it that sounds familiar, so like something, maybe a relative of some sort or something of that kind of thing, but it doesn't, the face was not what he's describing.
Okay.
Anybody else, I guess, with Nanwei? Any other questions or anything for him while Pogo is out gallivanting around the camp?
So it's definitely something aquatic.
He kind of shrugs. He says, "That's not the feeling that I get from it." As he's saying that, he shivers in the middle of the word. Again, he says, "It doesn't feel aquatic to me, but I don't know." Go ahead and give me another persuasion check, Artemis. And Pogo, you, as soon as you've left you walked past one in the main building when you were leaving, and as soon as you're out front of it, and one of the wolf form ones is kind of sniffing in the air, coming up near you, and another of the werewolves comes up by you. You changed your form, and it kind of tilts its head and looks at you. Can't tell whether it's male or female until it speaks, and it says, "You're a curious one. You look like one of us, and then you now look like this. One of."
You should hear this isn't even my normal voice. It's been a long couple of days. So, I guess based off. By the way, just to let everyone know, we did not know that you used to be elves. We were kind of lied to about this whole situation. So I apologize. Apparently, we were held at Arrow Point by some elves, and they said if we don't go in here and do what we had to do, that they were gonna murder us. So we're just kind of trying to survive. Apparently, just kind of like you, the same people who are been harassing you every week or so.
And they sent you to kill Nanwei?
Well, somewhat, unfortunately, but we're not doing that now. We're just trying to help you guys out, fix whatever's going on with you. Apparently, you guys don't like being wolves. Do you guys want to go back to your elf forms?
You've gathered by the voice that it's a female, but she kind of looks over her shoulder and then looks down at the dire wolf that's still kind of sniffing at you, and she kind of leans towards you. You're how tall is Artemis? 5.5, Fox?
About 5 feet.
Okay, then you at best could be 6 feet tall in this werewolf form that you're
Sure.
trying. So she's still a little bit taller than you, but she leans in and she kind of whispers in your ear. She says, do you feel like you might be making your way to Merethalis? Will you be to the city?" She's looking left. It's clear that she's
city?
She's trying to make sure that nobody else can overhear. She says, "Are you? Do you feel like you'll be making do you intend on going to the capital?"
Well, perhaps. I mean, we may end up there. It's a long story, but in short, we were hoping to borrow an artifact, and from what we can see, we probably do have to go to the main city. Why? What's wrong?
If you, and it's clear that she's very.
Why are we whispering?
Yeah, she's whispering, but she's sounds like on the verge of tears almost, but you don't really know if they can cry, if a werewolf can cry, but her voice sounds like it's cracking. She says, "If you go, can you try to find Halden for me and just tell him that I'm okay?"
Halden?
Tell him I'm here and I'm okay. She says Halden, yeah, Haldan.
And what's your name?
I'm Matani.
Was that Atani or Matani with a M sound? Matani.
Just tell him I'm here and that I'm okay and that I still love him and I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm already sad today. This is just making it worse.
I'm sorry. I don't mean to put anything on your shoulders. It's been so long and and I'll never be able to make it there again. I know I'm never going to see him again, but I just wanted to know that I made it and that I'm okay.
Is Halden not suffering from the same affliction?
You probably will one day. Don't expect I'll survive long enough to see it, though.
You mean from the other elves?
It is not.
Aye, this is, you guys are in a bit of a predicament. I'm not gonna lie. It seems like...
By her mannerisms and her gestures, you could tell she would be crying if she could. It seems like she can't. Like maybe their physiology.
Oh, don't cry. I'm sorry. Is there anything I can do right now to help you? Is this one of the ones we were attacking?
Yeah. She's not one of the ones that was in the fight with you. No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you what. I'll go do that for you. Can you... How do I say this? We're gonna try to stop this red rock and all the things it's doing to you and your people. Is there anything you can tell me that... What's his name? The main guy.
Nonway.
Adowin?
Nonway.
Nodway. Is there anything you can tell us that might help? That Nonway might not be forthcoming about? Anything you can say that might help me and my friends stop this affliction?
I don't know. I mean, I came from the city. When it started affecting me, I made my way here hoping to find some safety. I've never been to the bay where these things are.
Right. So you didn't used to live here, did
No,
ya?
I'm from Arethalis.
This is all new to you?
Yeah.
This place?
I used to swim in the bay when I was a kid, but as you guys are still having that conversation, then we'll switch back over to the other group. Still talking to Nonway.
Can anyone hear Jeremy? Is it...
You guys can't hear me?
Yeah.
Justin, you can't hear me? You're cutting out, Justin.
Am I the only one that can't hear stuff?
Yeah, it sounds like you're
Yeah.
cutting out on your end, so it's probably... It seems like everybody else can hear me okay. So it's probably your side. Okay. Oh, so while Justin's having the trouble anyways, what's the rest of the group? Arteme, with that persuasion check that you made, there, he kind of sets his head down, like he's looking down at the table where the bread is, and then he looks up and he says, I am careful to make conjecture. I don't like to assume things without facts to back it up, but the best guess I have is that when the Vine Lash wreaked its havoc over the islands here, that something in the ocean was either washed ashore, or maybe the escape route that it used to swim out of was destroyed somehow, and now it's stuck there, and that some sea creature is there in the bay, and it's using us because it, I don't know, has nothing better to do, or maybe its own, whatever it would normally eat, or however it would normally subsist, maybe it can't do that anymore, and this is what it's doing instead. That's my best guess. And he's kind of shivers again, and I would say that it's a very awkward appearing thing, because he kind of holds his arms around himself like somebody that was cold, essentially, and he's kind of just sitting there, almost solemnly, certainly, but almost like he's checked out, kind of staring at the table.
Okay. I'm gonna guess there's not much more information we could actually give.
Do you think the creature is sentient enough to be able to talk to us? Maybe we could clear it a way out to escape, so we'll be able to stop and go somewhere else?
Give me another persuasion check. He seems like he's starting to shut down a little bit, like he's past the point of just being scared, but doesn't want to talk about it much more. But you guys can still try to get information out of him, no matter whether you roll high enough on persuasion.
Let's see. Oh, you said persuasion, right?
And Pogo's not in the room with you anymore, so he can't help you. He looks up at you and he says, "I have no doubt that the creature is intelligent enough for communicating. That's what I fear is coming through the coral, the whispers that come through the coral. But every image that we see is racked with malevolence. I don't know that rationalizing with a creature such as it would even be possible. Maybe it's beyond me, but it most certainly wants all of us consumed, which is why we keep our distance from the coral as best we can. You have noticed, by the way, that I told you this last time. Where the coral is, the plants around it are dried up and dead. Anywhere near it, like any life that is near the coral, is sapped of any vigor. It's like the only brown that you see, basically, is the dried, dead plants that are near the coral. Everything else is vibrant and green. Some of it diseased, but still vibrant. You're like permanently lit up, Justin. Can you hear us? Okay.
I'm gonna ask Arteme how many of those reeds we have left.
Fox, did you hear?
Yeah, looking.
I don't remember how many you pulled up myself.
I don't remember, and it doesn't seem to be in my.
I think it's in there. Let me see. You still have a bunch of cool stuff in your bag that you haven't really used or done anything with. Maybe not. I thought I put it in there. Oh, you know what? You probably used the rest of it. Because I remember you when you guys were at the docks. I think you all took one when you guys got to the dock.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But you know that that's a pretty common read. Like that's not an uncommon thing. You just have to dry them.
I'm gonna ask him if he has anything that might help us breathe underwater.
He just shakes his head. That's not the kind of thing that we would really keep on hand. Nope. Yeah, I'm
Can
not
you
sure
guys hear me now?
Yep, you can hear you just fine.
Okay, so I had to switch over to my phone. But yeah, I have no idea what's been going on.
I need to be right back.
Okay. Okay, Fox.
So, what happened? What I miss?
Sarah and Arteme were asking questions. Go ahead, Becky. Well, is Pogo coming back in, or are you staying out there?
Is my Fantasy Grounds still working? Yeah, I think Fantasy Grounds is working fine. I'm moving around on your side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, my Fantasy Grounds is working fine. It's the Discord that was being a real butthole.
Okay.
I believe
Well,
that's a scientific term.
When you come back in, then Arteme and Sarah and Norok are still talking to Nonway there.
Okay.
And so, go ahead.
The only other thing I was going to ask the wolf lady is if, since she didn't grow up in this village, she probably wouldn't know. But is there anything that could help us on this little adventure to resolve this? Any weapons, armor, magical items that we could just borrow for a bit? That's all I was going to ask her.
She kind of shakes her head sadly. We don't really have much here. I mean, all that we do have is to try to save our own skins from the Isoquendi attacking us.
All right, sure. Whew.
But you step back in
Right.
past Sarah, who was kind of in the doorway, and you're back in the room then as he is finishing explaining talking to the group, not to Sarah, that what he fears may be the case. Shit, that would have been after that, actually. Yeah, I'm just going to leave it to you guys. So Sarah, if you want to fill him in on what he said beforehand, go ahead.
Oh, yeah, no, I just asked if it was sentient, if we could probably talk to it, because it seems like it's a creature stuck in the ocean. And he said that it is sentient. Probably gonna end up having to fight it because it doesn't seem happy. Right? That is what he said, right?
He described it as being most certainly extremely intelligent, but through and through malevolent.
So if we do this, we're probably gonna have to fight that sea monster.
And you muted yourself, Justin. I said that's on purpose, but just in case.
Unless you want to hear me pee.
That's fine. I think we're better off without it. I just put that up for when Fox gets back. So he says, if you have further questions, by all means, ask them. My family and I are tired. We're going to try to get some rest. Hopefully, your earlier captors will leave us alone for the night. You're welcome to camp here with us. Certainly don't mind. Maybe if you have more questions over the evening, you can ask them in the morning. Or you're welcome to take your leave. Up to you.
Well, we've already got so many details. We've got eyes and fins and tentacles. Who wouldn't want to go fight whatever that is?
They got some more details while you were gone.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Both while you were narratively gone, in that you were out of the room and out of Discord, so you couldn't hear us. So,
Right.
some more details that they can fill you in on later.
Well, I say, if no one else has anything, we can make a night, but we're going to have to make sure that we stay on guard, because those elves are sneaky bastards. There could be one here right now! Let me turn around. Ah!
Make a perception check.
Oh, shit.
I'm kidding.
So, yeah, we better make sure that we keep an eye out. Sleep with one eye open.
Well, I want to wait for Fox to get back, but I want to ask Artemis' opinion on if she thinks we should go talk to them first before sleeping.
Ooh. So what do you guys do around here for fun?
Build best we can. Rebuild.
Rebuilding?
Try to pull as many weeds as we can out of our town area, only to find them grown back a week later.
Ain't that the truth?
Like plucking weeds out of your gravel yard.
How far? I'm wondering, so when you get too close to the red, whatever it is, it starts to affect you and speak to you. I wonder, is there any way maybe we should try to take some, and if those other elves show up, we could throw it at them and then run, and they'll be whispered to. Maybe that'll throw them off.
Despite himself, he chuckles slightly. He says, the effects, I think, just as a guess, I think they might need a little more physical contact than just what a handful would do. Not to mention what it would do to you to even pick it up in the first.
Maybe if we create like a stick or a shovel. Like a poking stick that in the end's got a little rock on it and just poke at it. Ah.
He says, I appreciate your levity, little one, but...
Well, you know what's really sad about this is the people... Like, if you're all elves, the people who are, trying to hurt you, they're still just elves, and you're just elves, and we need to try to stop this elf-on-elf violence.
He's got a solemn, look, and he's kind of just looking down, just nodding. And he clearly agrees that this is, he doesn't want his own countrymen attacking him.
Yep.
If we somehow turn you back, do you think that the leader of the elvish people would treat us with some respect and help us out?
Make a persuasion check. Shit, with that roll. He says the Elantari is a stern woman. I don't know that she would be willing to provide much help, but if you can find some way to revert this, absolutely. The pressure she must be under with her entire constituents becoming this, I can't see how she wouldn't choose to help if you can find some way to revert this plague.
Pogo's gonna kind of like he's gonna walk around the corner and he's gonna hold the little rocks and gonna go, Pineapple, you know, we could have been in the capital city on a holiday enjoying a nice carnival or festival, and we're here. Just want everyone to remember that. And then I'm gonna walk back in the room. Good point. Yes.
Sarah, Becky, you had a question for Fox when she got back?
Oh, yeah. I want to ask her if it would be best if we went and talked to the elves now, or if we rested first, just in case they attack us when we go out.
I mean, we could try to sneak out in the morning. Maybe the elves won't see us if we sneak out.
While you guys were at AFK, he did offer that you guys are welcome to camp here with them in the camp. They don't mind. They of course fed you and everything too. But your obligation to the elves, that's how you want to handle that.
Yeah. And the elves may decide to attack while we're sleeping.
So, you know, I'm just realizing this might be a bit rude, and I understand, but they might not know the difference between your heart and one of the other wolves' hearts. And we do have a few dead wolves. I mean, we could take one of those.
Yeah, but they think it's a black heart.
I mean, do they though? Do they, like, really?
They specifically said it was a black heart.
He kind of growls anyways. He says, "You will not be mutilating the bodies of my brethren. We have to remember them."
At least not more so, right? Yep, I understand.
The wounds taken in battle is one thing, but mutilating after they've died, no.
Yeah, food for thought, I suppose. Alright.
I think it'd probably be better to rest and then go.
Do it
You
all
get out of
sneaky
the car.
like.
Rest
Hey,
and what?
Fox!
Rest and then go.
Can
talk
you-
to Therese again, and then go to the
Alright, we can try to go persuade her, or... I mean, you'd think if we at least tell them why, we can, you know, it doesn't really change much if we just tell them why we're going out there. I mean, worst case scenario, we fail and die, and we're in the same situation we would have been in.
You see him kind of feign a yawn. I'd say that it's below passive. You automatically would recognize it's not a real yawn. He says, we need to get some rest. It's been a long day for all of us, so decide what your intent is. If you're going to help us, wonderful. I wouldn't hold it against you if you just, set out. You're welcome to leave whatever direction you need to go.
Well, I think we're all gonna rest and then pick it up in the morning, and we're gonna try to help you, and hopefully by helping you, help this entire island. And hopefully by helping the island, we can at least talk to the leader. And by talking to the leader, maybe we have a chance of getting the thing that we need. And maybe if we get the thing we need, we can help the one person who maybe might be able to help with this other thing that everyone needs. And maybe if we do that, we don't have to kill an emperor? I don't know, I'm so confused.
Pogo probably would be pretty overwhelmed with the series of events of how this has to go.
Yeah, I think... Can we make another one of those fancy tree houses that we had before? I'd feel much more comfortable sleeping in there.
You see him kind of tilt his head sideways.
No,
You're
not you.
asking
I'm
Yeah, I know
asking
he
Artemis.
seems confused, like what you're even talking about, but he doesn't interject if you're not talking to him.
I could.
I mean, there's only a bunch of wolves and a bunch of elves, and most of them, I think, maybe don't want to kill us, so I'm not quite sure on where we stand.
Plus, to keep the snails out.
You fucking snails! And I just kick them off my feet. Everywhere I go!
You guys gonna go make a treehouse then and sleep?
Yeah.
And you're not going back to talk to the elves first then, right?
Oh,
Okay.
I don't think I want to go anywhere at night with those elves out there.
Yeah, it's pretty 12:30ish by now, so past
Yes.
midnight.
They're fucking-
Then you guys find a spot, probably on the map, probably here-ish or whatever, to for Arteme to perform the ritual and grow a tree from the ground that has the kind of incandescent dome at the top. You all climb inside and take your rest for the night. Is anybody do?
I was gonna say, fun story. She hasn't actually agreed to do that. She was just like, I mean, I can.
That's true.
She's like, we can. If she doesn't want to, for some weird reason, I don't know.
Fox?
Wouldn't know if it would.
Oh, yeah, I will.
Okay.
I was just making sure I could cast it as a ritual because I didn't want to use another spell
Yeah.
slot. Okay.
Yeah.
No, that's a badass fucking spell. I love that spell.
Then, so you guys, is anybody? So you've kind of grown this tree house. Everybody climbs their way inside to take a rest. Is anybody doing anything, or are you all just going to sleep?
I am going to check my scroll because it's been like too long since I checked it.
Yeah. Then in that case, your scroll of telescription, right?
Yeah.
Born Xantalus. When you flip back, or when you unfurl it and look at it, there is half of a page. The bottom half. So, right. Top half of the page says, "I haven't heard back. Confirm that you're okay." And then the bottom, and it's empty for a bit. And then the bottom half is. It looks like he had like messed it, like he scraped it out. But it's a bunch of arcane sigils, and it's basically from the previous time that he'd given you homework, essentially, where there were 5 symbols and he asked you to translate them. It looks like that was the previous day that you never read, and he's kind of scratched over it and tried to put this message over top of it to say that you confirmed that you got this message.
Alright. And I will just write back. Got into some trouble with. What is the name of the island?
Quincer.
Quincer. So got into some trouble in Quincer. Have to go fight a sea monster, but
Okay. All right. So you send that message off. Then is anybody else doing anything for the evening in your little treehouse?
So I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna go to see if I can find any pillows and blankets that aren't being used.
Okay.
And I'm gonna just bundle them all together, and
Okay.
then I'm gonna, right before I leave the room, did he take the pen?
He's still in there. You guys left the room, and he's still in there. But when you guys leave the area, though, you find you did see Matani out there.
Right before I leave the area, I'm gonna say, okay, we're gonna help you, but I'm gonna need your pen.
He squints at you and kind of reaches down
Very
and picks it up and
important.
looks at it. He looks at it and kind of tilts it, like he's checking all around it, like maybe there's something special on it that he didn't recognize. He says, my pen, what would you need my pen for?
Very important, but it's a secret.
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage. He's squinting at you with like disdain. You already kind of annoyed him a little bit earlier when you kept talking. He has to.
Oh wait, nope. I don't roll ones. Let's do that again with
You
this.
get one more. You get one more roll because this would be your
normal
previous
roll?
one you dropped. Well, you got the 4 already, so it would have been
okay.
disadvantage. Yeah,
Got
so
it.
you
Got it.
roll
All
one.
right.
Yeah.
One more. So it'd be a
Which
4.
is still better than you had. So with a 20, he says, I don't understand what you could really possibly want with this. It's just a relic that was brought back from Erethalis, but sure. And he kind of flings it in the air at you.
Perfect. That's all I needed. And then I'm gonna take the pillows and the blankets that I hopefully found, and I'm gonna.
Well, you didn't.
crawl
Okay,
up in
so
the
searching
ceiling.
around, you don't see any. Like they're not just pillows and
Oh.
blankets out there. People are
Then I'm
using
just gonna-
it, but you do see. I mean, there's werewolves out there that you can talk to that could maybe offer such things for you.
Oh, it's not that important. If they're, well, I mean, if they're all being used, like I don't see like.
Well, you don't know that.
I'll just ask the first
there's
werewolf
like a
that I.
limit clause. Okay, yeah.
I'll
so
ask the lady werewolf that I'm gonna go tell her man about it. I'm gonna ask if she has any pillows or blankets. We only need 3 or 4.
Then you see Matani, who was the lady. She's still out. Like it looks like she's kind of packing things up, like she's trying to finish up work for the day, kind of thing. Because there's still people that are working all the way around you. In fact, even the ruins to the northwest of you, there's still like hammering sounds coming from there, even though it's late. But you do see her and ask her about this. She says, I mean, I'm sure I can scrounge up a few. How many do you need? Are you staying with us for the night?
we're gonna be in that magical. We're gonna be in a tree house.
Yeah,
I'll tell
the
you what,
tree grew up out of nowhere.
yep, that's fucking radical. Just go ahead and when you find them, just bring them to the tree, and I'll come grab them.
Sure. I don't mind. I'll do that for you.
Oh,
At least
you're
I
a
can.
peach. Appreciate it.
Okay, then you make your way back to the tree. Then, 15 minutes later, she makes her way over with just an armload, which for her is a good amount of.
Oh, so it's
pillows.
like more
It's
than
enough
me.
for all of you. Yeah.
I'm gonna go out there and be like, I looked around the entire place and found all of these blankets and pillows. And
Oh,
by
you're trying to take credit for
I
them?
mean I asked her to do that, and she's very sweet. And the only thing we have to do is if we ever get to the main city, is we have to find her boyfriend man and tell him that she's alright. Weird day, guys. It's been weird. If we were in the capital city, is everyone in the treehouse with me? Or is it just me?
Everybody went in. Yeah, does everybody go in?
Yeah.
So if we were in the main city, the capital city, do you think they're doing the celebrations for the holiday? So I think today is the start of the holiday, isn't it?
Yesterday was.
Yesterday?
Oh, well, Thursday. Today, yeah. It's actually technically it's Saturday now. It was Thursday
it was-
for Ludia Volume, but it lasts a week.
Yeah. What do you think? What's your favorite thing to do when you guys are at the town, like the fair times when they're doing festivals? What's your favorite thing?
Is everybody just falling asleep already?
Is your favorite thing the dead silence and awkwardness that will slowly succumb and take over this world? Death and decay is everywhere. Sorry, that's not what I meant. My favorite thing is the candied apples and the turkey
I was
legs.
talking to Arteme.
I think I'm just talking to the group. It's like a sleepover.
It is a little bit of a sleepover, huh? You guys gonna make s'mores?
I prefer cougars over wolves, by the way. If anyone's curious.
Of course you would.
Nah.
Oh my god.
So nobody's gonna answer Pogo's question. Everybody's very rude tonight.
No one.
The music is my favorite part. There you go.
Oh, the music. Have you heard me sing yet?
I don't think Sarah has.
Oh, you haven't heard me sing. Oh, you've got to. I think you heard me sing a little bit on the boat, but I don't think you've heard me sing.
Did you sing on the boat?
I did. I think a couple times. I think it might have been more to myself. I hadn't really gotten to know you yet. That's surprising. I wouldn't have thought it was the music that you would have liked. I thought maybe you would have enjoyed maybe more the arts and crafts sections of the fairs, where all the women come out and try to sell their knickknacks and their goodies in their baskets. And by sell their goodies, I don't mean prostitutes. I mean they sell, candy and things of that nature.
Yeah, no, Sarah's not very... She's not like antisocial, but she doesn't get along with a lot of people.
I've been writing a bit of a song. I've only got one part of it ready for you. So do you guys want to hear my song that I've got going?
Sure. Before
I've
you
become-
do that,
Sure.
maybe we should contact Ozzy and let him know that we're okay.
You did get
Just
a
kidding.
half message from Ozzy earlier, remember?
Oh, that's right.
He was interrupted with pineapple. And you told him you were being attacked by elves or something.
I'm gonna type some stuff up in the chat. Just ignore it for right now.
Okay. And if you guys, what message are you sending?
Now this has to be 25 words or less, right?
Yep, this is long distance.
Okay. Hang on, give me a second. I gotta think. Oh crap. Okay. Working with werewolves. Hopefully working with elves too. Might have to fight a sea monster. To cure curse and get artifact. I think that's 25.
Okay. Then a small amount of time passes, and then you realize while you're waiting, you realize that you are about 2 time zones west. It's much later there. It's 2:30 a.m. at this point there, and you hear a very groggy response. Not time zones in the kind of structured sense that we of course have them, where there's set lines and so on, but just that at that far east, you having been noble in reading books when you were younger and so on, you would understand that the sun goes down earlier the further east you are, in which case it's further into the night over there. Anyway, a groggy response that says, "Good to hear you're safe." We count these, sorry. Ozzy eagerly awaiting response. Take no chances. Come back as soon as you can.
I do remember. Is Ozzy the one we can talk to through our magical stones? He is, isn't he?
Hang on. What did you say, Becky?
We can only do this once a day, right?
No, you can send multiple times. It's not limited like the old one was.
Okay.
What did you say, Justin?
Oh, we can use our stones to talk to Ozzy with under 25 words, right?
Correct. Yeah, Ozzy and Pepperjack, either one of them.
So I'm gonna do the stone and be like, I know it's late, but we met werewolves that used to be elves. Crazy.
Okay.
That's it. No context. No context at all.
You hear again. This is actually. Did you wait until you heard him reply to Sarah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in that case, just a second later, you hear a groggy response. Everybody hears this, of course. That says, "This is Pogo, I assume. Thanks." That's it.
That's perfect. Oh. All right. Do you want to hear? Do you want to hear a song I've been writing about us?
Sure.
All right. So, and then I'm gonna write down on my little piece of paper. This is you. You guys say these words after each line, except there's one line you don't. But we'll figure it out. Okay, don't worry. So,
Oh boy.
are you ready? And the lines are what I put in the chat. Are you guys ready? Have you? Yeah. Oh, sorry. Have you ever seen a man so tall?
How tall?
He could probably eat a cannonball. Come on, good. It's great.
Big ball. Oh god, I can't stop laughing.
He can slice an ogre's head clean off.
Can't do
I'll sing both parts. Have you ever seen a man so tall? How tall? He could probably eat a cannonball. Big balls, he can slice an ogre's head clean off. Get him off. When he rages, he can't stop. He's my buddy. No rock, he rocks, and he's got a giant pair of socks. Huge shoes. He's built like a raging bull. No bull. And a cart at full speed, he can pull 2 hearts. That's all I've got so far.
Nora, any reaction to Pogo singing your theme song?
That was about you.
I started clapping along as soon as I knew it was about me.
Like
Like guiding, the music or whatever, like clapping along with the music to the tone.
We could have been singing it at a fair. Now we're here.
Still pressing that part, huh? We could have.
And I'd still have my beautiful, sexy self. And he's like rubbing Artemis' body. I mean, this isn't bad. Still.
Glare at him from across the room.
Poor Fox. All right, then, guys. As you guys settle in, well, anything else before we wrap up for the night?
I'm gonna brew up a few more potions.
Okay.
And
What are you trying to make? Is that just? Yeah, it's Justin. Okay.
Sorry, my little earphones aren't being awesome.
Oh, good.
I'm
We're good
brewing
anyway.
some red mint tea and some smoke.
Okay. Smoke screen, you can make one more within the time. So if you're going to make some red mint tea as well, that doesn't take very long. That's basically just brewing tea as far as the amount of time it takes. That are you just brewing some just to keep, or are you going to brew it and then like drink it in the morning for everybody kind of thing?
Some to keep and some for the morning.
Okay. Then you'll have, as far as time-wise, to do this still within the long rest, you'll have one amount of tea, so one, like a cup worth, essentially one vial of it, and one more smoke screen. So you have those ready to go. Go ahead and give me, just to make sure you don't roll too low, give me 2 alchemy checks.
How do I do that?
It's on your skills page. I put them on the right top. Just a wisdom check is what it is, because you don't have proficiency with it.
Gotcha, okay. And by doing this, I'll eventually gain proficiency.
Yeah, it's just going to take practice reading the books, and the more you make, the more opportunities you get. Those are both successes. The DC was 12 for both, so you're good there. Both of those are fine. Then you'll have them socked away and ready to go, and settle in for the night. Then, is anybody else doing anything else for the evening before heading off to sleep?
Nope, I'm good.
Want to apologize to Shan and see if she'll come cuddle. And yes, I realize she's going to squish everyone, and I don't care.
She does not respond.
All right.
You can force her to, but to use the points, you'd have to give her a target to attack. So. All right, she does not respond.
Okay.
Norak doing anything or just going to sleep? G? You're muted.
What?
I heard him murmur in the background.
He says he's just going to sleep.
Okay. All right, then. Everybody, as you settle off to rest, I would say this is well above your passive scores for all of you. You hear plinking sounds occasionally, every 15 minutes or so. There is a loud plink of something hitting the outside of the dome and then hitting the ground below. You don't generally, most of the time, you don't hear it hitting the ground below, so it's hard to tell exactly what it is. Arteme, it sounds like something, is landing, whatever it is hitting the dome from the west and then landing in the plants down at the base of the dome, the base of the tree, basically. You can't really catch a sight of it as they hit because it's just happening too fast. It's just hitting the side of the dome and then falling into the plants. But it's happening every 15 minutes or so. You probably over time into it that they might be arrows.
Yeah.
By the sound coming from the west, outside of the camp, it seems like. But other than that, your sleep is undisturbed, and you guys are able to rest on through the night. I'll leave it up to you. Do you want to roll now to see when you wake up in the morning which effects have been removed, or do you want to wait till next week?
I'll wait till
Roll
next
now,
week.
please.
Oh, let's both roll now.
All right, hang on. Well, it's not 2 rolls; it's only 1. So you guys have to decide first of all who's going to do it, and then second, let me check how many there's still left. I think it's only 3 that are still left right now. It is 2 actually. So it'll actually be a D2. So in that case, right-click on the D4. Well, who's going to do it first?
Me.
Arteme.
Okay, then right-click on the D4, and it's the top center where it'll have the number 2.
Okay.
We're flipping a coin.
Hang on, I did that wrong. I thought that would be a D2, and it's not. That was rolling 2D4. So in that case, yeah. How do you get a D2?
That help? That not help at all.
So that is the opposite of help. Let's see. There is. I know there's a way to do it. Can you just do /D2 maybe? Let me see. Nope. We can do it in Discord. So Fox in Discord. There we go. Do type exclamation point R. So this. Do that. Just starting with the exclamation point, Fox. All right, A2. All right, morning comes. The annoying plinking all night was not enough from your sleep. It seems like it was done to annoy you. It was clear that it was not going to work after the first 1 or 2, maybe. But I'm going to go ahead and send you what this looks like so you guys can see it. In the morning, you wake up and you are still. Arteme is still Pogo. Pogo is still Arteme. Nothing else
Damn
has
it!
changed. Until, Pogo, you look around and you don't see the dome covered with snails. I just put it in Discord so you guys can see that there were two options left. Pogo and Arteme
Sure.
switched bodies, and Pogo has snails chasing him. That was the second option. That is the one that is now faded. So
Right.
you guys have a whole other day of dealing with that.
No, I was hoping the body switch would change.
Oh, just wanted to have my sexy, sexy body back. Instead, I'm stuck with this body, and I'm just gonna feel myself up again.
Oh shit! All right. So on that note, we will go ahead
and then we're still in the dome, right? We haven't left this
yeah,
dome.
exactly. We'll cut
With a
off.
pile of fucking arrows just littering the ground.
There's probably a good amount of broken arrows sitting on
Yeah.
in the plant